We're live. Thought I'd come back on here for a minute or three or whatever. And the Great Alien Invasion. This is how it's going down. So I want to. Is it going down in your town where you're at? I want to hear. You see it happening. Are you seeing this great alien invasion happen? Right. Keep hearing about it on the news, right? Are you hearing about it on the news? Are you seeing it on the streets? Aliens, slime creatures from outer space. It's raining in Detroit. The Great Alien Invasion. What's that mean? Detroit. Boy, what are you seeing in Detroit? Are they? You got a lot of people in Detroit. A lot of extra people in Detroit. A lot of extra people hanging around. That's a good talk about having boots on the ground. Detroit. So what are you seeing? You seeing aliens? Great alien invasion going on there as well. I want to hear what I want. Boots on the ground. What are you seeing? Tell me what you're seeing. Nope, no aliens there. Nothing's, no slime creatures from outer space. It's not Daniel Vallis. It's informed Christians. Informed, like being informed. Informed. There's two words that don't go together, normal and Detroit. So I don't believe you. Now, I don't believe you. I think you're telling me stories. Detroit and normal don't go together are two things. So I don't believe you. Now, I just have to go off my gut. So informed Christians. Informed Christians. Not Daniel Ellis. Informed Christians. So all right, let's see if we get this ramping up here. Let's get on a rant. Will this will trigger the algorithm. Yeah, there we go. Flush them and bring them. Yep. Man, this algorithm is, or I can get around this. I know how to, I can beat this algorithm. So, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Everything is normal in Detroit. That is an interesting analogy that goes right into everything. Everything's forward and perverted. And so, what is normal? That's a good question. What is normal? So, what is the norm? The norm is the silent majority. Is the norm. Right? The silent majority. Those that don't speak up. Those just that allow evil to flourish. Those aren't good men. You can't be homeless. It's illegal to be homeless in Detroit. So it's legal to be homeless in every state except for Oregon and Washington. So, but there are homeless. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's because you're seeing homeless. How about all those aliens? You don't see them because they're put up in housing. They're put up in housing. Like in Maine, they have a contract, a grant for 2 years. They'll put them up for free housing. And then after that 2 years, it goes to 30%. They get reduced rent for newcomers or aliens. Excuse me. You've got to stay on this on subject. The aliens. They call them newcomers. But when I grew up, they were called illegal. They were illegal. And I know there's still people. Remember, I'm telling you to have a heart and agape and all those things. But you still got to keep your foot over the, overboard. Make sure that you keep your feet on the ground. Both see what you're seeing here, and not take your eye off what's going on. So, yeah, informed Christians, no problem. You'll know because you'll see it's you'll once you get on there and you look. So, thanks for coming in again, and it'll be definitely good to see you again. So, but anyways, in Maine and New York, they can with a family of 4, you get up to $2,000 a month. So we have homeless on the street, but these people, these newcomers, are being put up in Colorado. They just sent out letters to people that have a contract for rental contracts with Colorado, and they're asking them to house these people, as we have people that are children and women on the streets of our country. And then we have in Seattle, we have them storming an insurrection in the Capitol building there, and we have them demanding that their hotel rooms are not good enough, and they want that housing that I was telling you about. So, but anyways, it's I know it's happening because I see it, and it's going to become an issue for people within this country, within these walls. Here in America, the bad guy, or people don't see it happening. So, it's okay. It's but it is affecting a lot of people in this country already. New York is a place again where people are. It's called a sanctuary city, and they've even now flipped the script and are wanting these people out of there, even though they funded to bring all these people in there. Where it is what it is. Probably I'm not worried about it. I said I got to answer the Father, so I'm not concerned about anything. So it's becoming, again, if you look at the numbers in California, I think they had like 7,000. Some of the numbers are staggering. The people that are flooding into this country, and I put a $sign is what I did on the invasion. I'm not so much more because I know these people are going to continue to flood into this country, and people aren't going to say anything about it because they're the silent majority. But this is how I see that they're going to not only be able to continue to keep and smash their foot down on the gas pedal. This is how they're going to continue to. You got to imagine how much money is being flooded into all these grants. They're giving these people credit cards loaded with money, envelopes full of money. I mean, this is the UN giving money. This is getting quite, interesting to sit here. I'm not away from everybody, but I'm out in the country. I'm away from society, so to speak, a majority. And I don't live in a nice town. I live in a town where I have a reputation too. So, but I make sure that I keep my eye on the prize there, and I don't lose that the Most High is, controlling all of it. And I can't change a jot or a tittle, but I can tell you what I'm seeing. And most people won't speak up because they just won't. They're the silent majority, like I said. But it is happening, and this is the invasion of this country, the overthrowing. They already did this in other countries. This is how it's done. And a lot of these people coming into this country, even though I tell you to have a heart and to agape, not just walk and follow in the commandments of the Father, but to be patient, be kind, do not boast, all these things. The other side of agape, about having this humanity that I tell you that we're all one race, just one race. I don't do races. That's not of the Father at all. He didn't create races. He had different tribes, but they were from different families. But that's more biblical. He put different color or melanin in our skin from where he put us on this earth, not because we're racist. So that is racist in my eyes. I don't see color, and I don't think that's of the Father. So yeah, the alien invasion, is it UAPs? Yeah, no, it's not. They've done this to everybody. Uh, they've done this to this is the Most High is all the jots and all the tittles, but this country's gone around and kicked the pants off everybody. I'm an Army veteran, and we go around and stomp and look what people are paying for in Ukraine. They've disappeared a whole generation of people in that country right now. Just destroyed the breadbasket of Europe, and it's incredible what has been done, and the money that's been spent to do it is unreal. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to make you understand on this too. You know what, the people coming over here, that's not my interest. I'm not going to stop that. I ain't trying to stop anything. I ain't trying to change anybody. I'm just telling you what I see. You can tell me if you see any of this. You can, whatever, but I know what it is that I'm seeing. I know this has been happening again. I'm not one of these people with a 30-second attention span, the attention span of a swipe or a TikTok or a fly. Some of these things you have to have decades and keep your eye on this stuff, because it's a logarithmic decay. It's a frog in a pot of boiling water. It's slowly turning the heat up on you. Death by a million paper cuts. It's not. People don't have the mentality to hold the attention span for something like this. But this is happening. This was happening during the last administration and the administration before that, and even in the administration before that. See, I'm old, and we used to call them aliens. They were here illegally, illegal aliens. And actually, most of them assimilated just fine in the last 15 years. I talk about this. They did just fine. They came here and had a job, almost most of them the first day then they got here. They kept their mouth quiet and shut up because they weren't supposed to be here. They got a job. They paid taxes and got a phone the minute they got here and started, it was all not just sit around and collect a check and, food stamps and welfare, like all this stuff that's going down with these ones coming in now. They're giving all these people, see the S in the invasion, the dollar sign, the S in the dollar sign. This is them smashing down and spending your money, not only here in America, but in other countries, to fund death and destruction and war. Again, I'm a veteran. I know these things. The shoe's been on my foot, so boots on the ground. I'm trying to explain to you that this isn't going to stop. Okay, I know that. But you should at least say something about it and not just keep condoning it and paying for it. Because every time you pay a tax dollar, you're funding death and destruction and war. So, and your tax dollars are going to these people that are coming into this country. Why we have people sleeping on the streets that have citizenship in this country, and they're paying these people that are here illegally. We call them illegal aliens. So from now on, we'll call them just aliens. Okay. So when I speak of they call them the newcomers, but we're being flooded by the great alien invasion, because smashes down on the gas pedal and gives them the chance to keep funding this as they keep taking your tax dollars and fund death, destruction in other countries. And 800 military bases in over 180 countries, the great military industrial complex. So isn't that people going hungry, American citizens, and these people are busting down in Seattle saying, hey, these hotel rooms aren't cutting it for us. We want houses. We want houses. And in Maine, they're giving them grants for 2 years. 2 years, they'll pay all their rent, like up to, I think it'd be to $1,800 to $2,300 is what they're covering in Maine. And after that, they get a reduced rent by 30% is what they pay. This is already happening. Colorado, they just sent out letters to the residents of Colorado informing them again that if they're do rentals contracts with the state, that, hey, they say, they call them newcomers. They do say that they're immigrants, but then they call them, well, we got to take care of the newcomers. So you got to be aware that this is happening, because on the other side of it, yes, you have to have some spirituality and realize that everybody hasn't come over here being nefarious. But even if a small percentage of them are, we're in trouble. Yeah, that's what they're called. And I'm not telling you, I'm just giving you the information. I've told you I'm going to go to the border and pick some of them up and bring them to my property, because I can't even get Americans to come here and live with me and try to live organically and not even care about none of this. Just be spiritual. Just eat spiritual food and organic and read the word of God and not care. Turn all this stuff off. Carry up my cross with my brothers and sisters here. But I can't get anybody to do that. So, I'm going to go to the border and pick some of them up. They got up off their butt and left a bad situation that we caused in most situations in these countries. So it's weird for them to come to the country that displaced them, but they don't care. They're getting checks. They get to come here, and remember, a lot of them now don't like us. Remember, we're the bad guy. I've been telling you that over and over and over and over. I keep saying that. We're the bad guy outside these walls. You just live here. You got a mind that's narrowed to these walls. If you leave outside or know anybody outside these walls, we're the bad guy. We're the bad guy. We're the one with 800 military bases and 180 countries bombed that I'll bomb the living crap out of you. Remember, Mr. Nobel Peace Prize winner? I'll bomb the crap out of you, right? And then Mr. 45, who was still involved in a bunch of operations, said he wasn't, when all these, look at his ordnance dropping. People don't pay attention to nothing. They all drop more than last. They all spend more than the last. It's a cycle. They have to continue the mass destruction. It went from, all bomb the crap out of you to Megadeth. It's whatever. It's people are just, they fall for whatever. They're remember Richard Nixon? I don't support none of these pretendants, but might be one of the greatest things ever said, pretended, other than no foreign entanglements. Oh, Americans don't believe anything until they see it on the internet. Well, he said television back in that day, but kind of a pretty epic saying there, Mr. Dick, right? Mr. Tricky Dick, Mr. Richard. So, I don't know. He was onto something, huh? Watergate? Interesting. They're all related to the Queen. Don't ever forget that. Don't take your eye off the prize. Yep. When you mix blue and red, you get what? Blood related to the purple. Yep. So they're all on the same team. I don't care whether they wear a red hat or a blue hat. If they're a donkey or an elephant, or they're a bloodbakin or a democrat. You're getting tired of the donkey and the elephant. Try the Lamb of God. Turn it off. Don't participate in none of it. Oh, it almost makes me filthy sick to think that anybody even participate in this filthy system that funds this Megadeth and destruction all around the world. Remember, if I was your pretendant, I'd bring all those militaries home. That'd solve our crisis, our wall crisis. Remember, he never built a wall. Man, what a scam artist. Greatest creepy Drumpf and his buddy creepy Bidenstein. So all on the same team, two cheeks to the same hole, right? Two wings to the same dragon. Careful. You're being played. They're taking your money and funding death and destruction with your W-2, your bond, your capital letter law. That's why I make such a big deal about it on this channel. It's all related. That's why I give them such a hard time. You're tyrant. You're a tyrant. You're a tyrant. Take off your clown suit. You're a public servant. You have no authority. You're just a clown. Just like the other one with Mr. Agent Orange. Remember? Agent Orange. Creepy is, you know what? Tell you what, if I had a bunch of devil posters up here, Satan, the adversary. Yeah, I warned everybody. I was a military police and a police officer. I warned everybody of this. I remember before 9/11, I served before all that, 9/11 stuff. I served in the first part of the 90s, right out of the 80s. I'm kind of old. Oh, gray there, see? So, we've been funding this death and destruction for quite some time. This ain't new for us. This what we've been doing. Start with Mr. Agent Orange dropping 3 steel buildings with 2 airplanes. Remember? Yeah, he did that. The dancing guys at the bottom. Then he comes out and says, now I have the tallest building ever. So I've got my whole house decorated with devil and Apollyon and the bringer of the disease and the cure of the disease and warp speed and, devil and Satan and adversary, devil. And I call myself a Christian. Would you vote for me for pretending? Oh, look at my dog over here. He's growling at me. He doesn't like that. I was just playing. Just playing. It's just Dad playing. He's like, Dad, don't do that. Dad, don't do that. Yeah, he loves the cops too. Mr. Agent Orange, remember, he wants to bring the oh my gosh, guys, there you go. There you go. Hey, what's going on in the New York subways? Do any of you remember your Constitution? You want to vote for a guy that's got devils? Would you vote for me if I was to pretend it? And I called myself a Christian and my whole house was decorated with, right? Would you believe I was a Christian? Yeah, lost part of the room. They're like, whoa, yeah. Get out of here. Go vote for go slam your hopium and drink your Kool-Aid. Oh, this guy likes Biden. So triggered are they, huh? Won't even talk to each other anymore. Cool. All right, hey, whatever. It's a little animated. I bring the truth to Alethea, so I ain't gonna sit here and lie while all this goes down, while we fund all this death in my hand. No, no, thank you. Trying to do what I can. I can't totally, but I can come out of my people, be in this world, but be not of it. I can only tell you what I see. So, we're still funding it. Nothing's changed but the weather and the weakening of our magnetic shield from the sun. That's been weakening by quite a bit, obviously. So, yeah, as we sit here and keep having these 800 military bases and all this military industrial complex that Eisenhower, the beast system that I served, and the filth and the destruction, it's, I'm not going to just keep holding it in. I'm going to make sure that I sound that horn, blow the trumpet. We all know what's happened is it's the magnetosphere is weakened in the last 3 solar cycles. Or in solar cycle 25, during 24, 23, and 22, the sun's energy is stepped down. It doesn't shoot out its regular amount, and that would expand and blow up the heliosphere, the atmosphere, the magnetosphere, the ionosphere, the stenosphere. We live within the troposphere. There's more levels, about the ozone, and then you have the stratosphere. There's lots of layers to our atmosphere. Most people don't even take the time to study any. They don't watch. They said, "Oh, look at the sun." So most people don't know anything about the sun. But I've been looking at the sun for forever, since I was a kid. Love looking up at the stars and all the sun, all this, the star. The sun is a star, right? So we live on a star, right? So I do enjoy looking. I'm not a pagan. I don't believe that, there's some kind of, goddess of heaven up there spinning the Big Dipper around the pole star. I know how the functions of these star and the magnetosphere, that one that protects us, that one I was saying, from that weakened, which has been shrinking, and we're getting closer to the sun. So as we've been getting closer, that sun has been melting off that particulate like a flame on a torch. If you lit that torch, you'd see all that carbon and soot. It'd be very orange in color. The flame, you turn that heat up and higher, you're going to start to lose that orange, go to an orange, yellow, white to white, and then eventually to a blue. But we're in that white stage. Most people miss that stage, but that's how this has happened. And they're going to blame it on a bunch of other things. But I put people with NASA to shame. I encourage people who call themselves a scientist because they don't use the actual scientific method or the scientific theory, or they've forgotten what science is. It's global warming. I've taken 30 plus years to study and, got my bills paid. And then I took all the rest of my day and slept just a little bit and studied most of the time. And so the sun has always been fascinating to me. I have my whole arm is decorated with, celestial stars and Jupiter and Saturn and the stars and eclipses. And I kind of, he tells me to look up. So I look up, your Redeemer, the one who paid the price, but anyways, as our atmosphere shrinks down and we get closer to the sun, it's been burning off that protection from the sun. And that's why it's a hot white sun. 3 cycles ago, obviously, it was a much orange sun, as I tell you. But as we've been, the sun is not doing anything. We are. So it's not as complex. It's quite elementary. So, but they want to make it like, oh, it's all, but they got people focused on the solar maximum, solar minimum. They think that's the only cycles that that's the 12-year. There's a 1200, a 12,000, there's a 400. There's, we're 6,000 years in the 90,000 year cycle right now, but people don't even remember that. They think that an ice age was thousands of years ago when we were just in an ice age in the 1800s. So remember, people got kind of the attention span about, or a fly. But anyways, I'm very interested in the sun, and I love sharing the information about it because they like to make up a lot of stuff, space and aliens, when a lot of it's firmament, waters above, waters below, signs and stars and sun and moon, and notice no planets. But anyways, don't try to corkscrew or spin me. You won't corkscrew or spin me, but I know the models, the plane at models, all that. Yeah, I'll have that discussion. The Maui Blast. They got people drinking Mountain Dew. We speak Mountain Dew on this channel, just in case you didn't know. We speak in colors and Mountain Dew. Pretty soon they're gonna make you drink the pitch black, right? Oh my God, code red. Just anyways, you guys, they ain't playing. Have you figured that out? Yeah, there we go again. Thank you. Same. And think about the amount of cattle that have been lost that's going to affect your bottom dollar and how much you get to put in your mouth too. There's a lot of effects. These things are so multifaceted. They do now. Most people, they can't TikTok swipe in 30 seconds and they're ghost is what I call it. So, happened again. Anybody being serious about this? Maybe you might want to find somewhere where you got some protection from this sun. You better pay attention to the SON. Put the SON first. But he is the controller of the SUN, correct? So, anyways, quite interesting that most people don't pay attention to the sun and they don't know the color of the sun. So brilliant. I don't know if that is that Dennis? Not Denise. Dennis or Denise. Dennis. So, yes. Thank you for opening your mouth. And thank you, First Eye, because that's brilliant. Let's keep our eye on the prize, the SON. He's the one who told us to look at the SUN, correct? Look up. So, yeah, isn't that sickening? That's filthy. That is so filthy. They're telling you, I know what you guys know. You better be doing something about this, guys. They are not playing with you anymore. Living in paradise. Oh, wait. I got. Does anybody know a good Paradise jingle? Or I come up with nothing for Paradise. Why don't I know anything? I think I know a song about Paradise. I don't know. It doesn't have to be or maybe just a little fancy jingle. I'm kind of everything I do is like that. Something you can relate to, right? So, anyways, have you seen the Chili Bowl? Did you guys see that Chili Bowl? Flipping over cars at the Chili Bowl? Holy smokes, boys. Do me, baby. Do me, baby. Oh, Bill, bib the bowl. Oh. Now you know. Yo, slick. Blow. Whoa. They ain't playing, guys. Holy cities. Just ashes to ashes, dust to dust on the back of the dollar. It says, in God we trust. Holy. Think about it. They ain't playing. Yeah, the chili bowl. Chili, they're flipping over cars. Holy, what could, everything didn't even matter the color of your roof, did it there, huh? Oh, hey, did you guys try the chili? He'll be able to rain lightning, from the sky. They are not playing around. Why does the whole world not give a rat's patootie about this? Just like, okay, I'm going to have to live, just like living in paradise. There we go. Eddie Van and not Sammy, but Eddie Van and David Lee. Thank you very much, April. Appreciate it. There we go. Good old, there we go. So, okay, guys, they are not playing. Ask the Aussies. The Aussies would know. The Aussies know. They, this is not their first stupid bowl, guys. Or there's, chili. Do you guys try the chili? I don't want that. Holy. Why doesn't anybody? This is something. And guys, there's other tech that they've used here, guys. From the below, the yes, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Now I won't be able to get that out of my head. But anyways, what? Nobody seems to be getting ready for that. I mean, how do you get ready for that? I'd say you want to probably put some dirt on top of your head. Yep. I think that might be a good idea. Don't get the wrong idea 6 feet under. That will probably work, but careful there. Don't make any implications here. Peace. No, I'm not calling for peace. Those who say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come. But how about armor of God? He made this dirt. You came from the dirt. You're going to go back to the dirt. What are you worried about? It's just a lifetime. Remember? Those that are willing to give their life for my name's sake is the promise of eternity. That are not willing to give their is the promise of eternal destruction. And there we go. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Chili. Do you guys try the chili? Do you want to try the chili? That's gotta suck, guys. Imagine being in that. That has got to be just for these people, man. If you've seen the videos, and they just did 1 million acres in Texas. It's happened again in America. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome when you're part of the team, America. It happened again. Is anybody going to do anything about this? Man, I can't wait for this weather to break. I got a lot more work to do to get ready for this. I've been for quite some time getting ready for this, but I think I need to put some more dirt on top there. Better put some more dirt. I don't know if 6 feet's going to work. I don't know. Well, you can only do what you can do, right? So we'll see. I hope you're doing something about it. Chili bowl. Here we go. Have you tried the chili? Stupid bowl. Hey, wait for the Trump millimeter bowl. And then you'll see what I was talking about. Talk about living in Hotel California. Oh, boy. Whoops. Yeah, you can check in, but you can never leave. So enjoy your 15-minute cities. The great alien invasion is happening and everybody's falling asleep on that. Remember, that doesn't mean that all these people are not still flooding into this country, guys. So a lot going on in the world right now. I tell you what, a lot of people sleep at the wheel. That's who the problem's going to be. I don't know. I better pay attention to Mr. Musk. He's got some kind of link. What was it? Reagan said wars, right? Star link. What? Same. So it's pretty insane. Oh, hey, yeah, we're just going to don't pay attention to what I'm doing over here. I think he knows what he's going to do. I think he's kind of got a thing worked out. I got a ticket on Air Force One. I'm Elon Musk. I'm Mr. People's Champion. Disgusting. Filthy people, man. So I hope I hope he's calling you out to, well, come out of her, my people. Right? You must be in the world, but not of it. You must be in the world. Are you hearing me? He has told you already, if you're wise, do not try to escape your death. He's got that day marked. You must give your life for his name's sake. If you are not willing to give your life, that is the assurance of eternal destruction. Ain't trying to save my life, but I ain't just gonna let that tornado take me. And hey, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Toto. Wise, he said. Extra oil. Be in the world, but be not of it. Hello, can I make it any more? Careful. Some of us will listen and they won't be on that side. They'll be like, rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of the Lord. Oh, yeah. They are Mr. Boring. Thank you. So it's not going to save them, but excellent. Mr. Boring. Oh, Star. Gee, I wonder who's going to, what does he know? I think somebody's actually putting on their thinking cap in here. Very wise. Very, very wise. So, hey, whatever, guys. There's do what you will with it, but I don't think most people are even paying attention to that. I appreciate we kind of speak around this and not come right out and, but hey, obviously they know something, huh? They know something's coming. Hey, guys. No need for concern. Just got turned back on. Yeah, better pay attention to that, guys. That is, we got that sunspot coming around. Earth facing. Almost delta mixing now, huh? I don't know. You tell me. I told you I watch this stuff every day. I don't know if you Solarham, spaceweathernews.com, spaceweather.com. There's all these tons, LASCO C2, LASCO C3. There's tons of ways to get this information and glean it from what you will, eat the meat and chew, spit out the bones, what you don't want, whatever. So, what do they know? No need for concern. Switzerland, huh? The largest machine or largest by man hey, I think that Silk Road is going to take that out, huh? But anyways, why don't our skeletons turn to dust? They will if you drink enough Mountain Dew, April. They surely will turn to ashes and dust to dust. Nope. Right on the top, it says, "In God we trust." So, quite interesting. Are you doing anything about people drinking this Mountain Dew, guys? Is there anything? Are you doing anything about it? Doing. Get it? I think they know what they're doing. How you doing? I don't drink soda. No, thank you. I don't drink soda. No, I'm not into all the bubblies. No. I've been off the bubblies terrible for quite some time. So poison. I don't want to. I'm trying to stay on the waters. Have a cup of coffee, but yeah. I'm feeling the energy, boy. I'll tell you what. So, why doesn't anybody talk about that, guys? For real, I appreciate you having this conversation. I kind of like where I just organically took this conversation wherever you guys took it there, but how come nobody cares about this? I'm like, hey man, you see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? You see these people drinking this Mountain Dew? You know, for some reason, I feel like the next time what they do is, hey, drink the pitch black. Coming soon to a Link War Sky near you. Welcome to the big show. Welcome to the big show. Or is it a big top circus? Or is it just a big clown show with Mr. Agent Orange and his buddies, Mr. Musky, Stinky Musk, and his Tesla technology? Never forget Uncle John. Mr. Uncle John with all his tech, huh? And what's all with the silliness with like the UFO, UAP? That's like the stupidest thing I ever heard. I can't stand how they do that sometimes. So they just, we'll just change the narrative. We'll just Mandela effect them. We'll just Mandela effect them. What do you mean UFO? I've never seen it. What do you mean UFO? You mean UAP? It's pretty silly. This whole Starlink and Star Wars. Yeah, that's crazy. I know that's crazy. That's insane, but that's the way it goes. Remember, I've tried to tell this to people first, that during all these wars and stuff, before in the past, people didn't even know the wars were going on. That didn't mean that they weren't going on. So, yeah, good, excellent analogy there. Like what's going on now, you know, I mean, you just don't see it, but it's happening already. It's a different kind of war. It's an economic, type of, it's a more of a silent, a silent war, all this, oh, wait, it's in the food you eat. It's in the air you breathe. It's in the water you drink. The poison that they put on the television, so it's silent and you don't see it happening, so you don't even do a thing. Logarithmic decay. Death by a million paper cuts. They're moving the people in, guys, if you ain't seen it, to do this, reset. There we go. So here it is. Here we are, and nobody will say a thing about it. Next thing you know, there'll be this great alien invasion, right? And then they'll make you drink the Mountain Dew. So careful. This isn't a world I think I'd be playing games and, a big top circus show here with Mr. Orange, Agent Orange at the helm here. Yeah, Mr. 45. Do I call him 45 and a half? Is he 45 and a half? Yep, there's about that many people. That's about that many in this country right now, First Eye. About that many, getaways now, all this other stuff that there's just since, like I said, within the last 15 years that I was telling you or so, there's about that many million in this country right now. So I call them door kickers, guys. They'll put blue helmets on them, and then you'll remember, because I've said that a billion times. It seems like blue helmets, What do you see? What do you see for the future there, Tracy? I see blue helmets in America. Helmets. You mean like the bell? Yeah, the ball, the war, that old, the old back to the old Mr. Warp Speed, Mr. 88, Seventh King. Oh, he loves the Seventh King. Oh, he loves the Seventh King. Mr. 88 loves the Seventh King, and it will be revealed as the Eighth King. So it's incredible. It'd be like rain. It'd be like, they're like, oh, hey, well, you know what would be the coolest thing if it just rained Mountain Dew? Wouldn't that be cool? The people would love it because they love their soda, don't they? It's soda crazy if you ask me, but I think it more has to do with waves. Is there a wave do wave? Oh, it was Maui Blast. My bad. But no, I don't. Must. You know what? I'll guarantee you that balloons have everything to do with it. Oh, that might have triggered the old algos. My bad. Look, Mama. Balloons. Remember, I was talking about a circus. Easy, easy. It was a big top show. Remember? They got you looking at balloons, but boy, oh boy. Ain't it kind of strange how it all kind of... Remember that song, 99 Red Balloons? Ooh, what is that signal? What is that signal? Oh, yeah. They've done this in other countries. Thank you. Oh, what is that signal? What do you mean signal? It like a sign? No, or like a signal? What do you mean? Are we talking about street signs or stop signals or... I thought we were talking about illegal, aliens with wearing blue helmets. They're like getting paid to do it. Like, hey, what's up? Hey, remember me? Remember what you did in my country? I got children that are still affected from what you did. And I'm here to tell you, yeah. Our Father brings the judgments in many different ways, brothers and sisters. He don't just, he creator of all things. The sun, the stars, the moon, everything that ever was, the beginning, evil, God, my Allah, my Elohim, my Father who art in heaven, the Most High, the only thing that exists without darkness, the creator of evil, the creator of good, the creator of everything that ever was, everything ever written, everything that ever will be, everything not written, and the creator in the Omega, the beginning and the end, the creator of all things. Yep, he's the one who brings these judgments, and he uses all these things to pass his judgments. So people just don't see it. And that's okay. But doesn't mean that it's not happening, like that nose on your face that you never look at that's sitting right there every day, that you don't see it unless you look down at it. So anyways, good times to just sit here and watch everybody stand by as people are chili bowled and made to drink Mountain Dew, Pretty intense time, if you ask me, man. These judgments are pretty, as is above, so is below. Never forget paradise. They don't just rain fire from the sky. Oh, I mean, code red Mountain Dew. What an interesting time. Kind of liking this again, because whatever Denise said, to put it out into the old universe. What were you doing when it was going down? What were you doing? What were you doing? What were you do? Do me, baby. Do me, baby. Man, they ain't playing, guys. They are not playing. They ain't playing. So, as you have all these other things going on, it's incredible, This amazes me, man. It's all right. I got something in my tongue or something here. Got all the cats up here on the couch all the time. A whole lot of cat hair in here, though. They don't shed very much. That guy. We just let the big guy in the house here the last couple of days, so maybe. All right. So what's your thoughts on this, guys? I mean, this is some serious stuff, what they've done. I mean, this is incredible if you think about the scope and the, like I said, what Mr. Bidenstein said. It's like they know and they just don't care. They don't care. That is incredible. Again, I've tried to really just kind of let that go, because it really just gets me just like I can't believe that they just love to mock people, sometimes through, they do it all the time. Remember, they do it with their virtue signaling. They do it through their symbolism. They do it through their television and their Hollywood with all their, channeling and programming and casting of spells and, broadcasting and all these, it's remarkable what they've been able to. My cat was there. Hold on a second. Go out there, kitten boy. You love being outside, don't you? Let me go get you some. Oh, you can't wait for the wait for the spring to come back with all them mesas come out, huh? Kitties will have better pickings out here. Let's see what we got dinner roll. Yeah, I just can't believe this is, whatever. I can't do anything about that. You don't do anything about that, but the level. Yeah, that was a pretty good live. We had a lot of people flooding in there. We hit the algorithm pretty hard on that chat. Thanks for coming in. That was a long stream, but I just got to do what I got to do, I'm trying to let this weather break out here, I put some more stuff off the internet, and that's all I can do. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can only do what I can do at this point. So I'm trying to be in the world, but not of the world. Thanks for coming in there. I don't see you in here, Ace Volleyball, but yeah, I got to do it. I got to get it ready. I've been working hard out here for 5 years, busting my tail to get ready for what is already here, so to speak, but the weather will get way more, it helped trigger some of the algorithm. That's why I was sparking. That's why I know what I'm doing. This ain't my first time doing, the internet. So sometimes these algorithms, everything is set up on an algorithm, and I am massively shadow banned on this platform. And I'm massively shadow banned on TikTok. My IP address, I can't get away from what's happening electronically. It is what it is. But sometimes we can beat these algos, and we did it. We rocked it. So I appreciate it. You're a huge part of that because you were in there for a large part of that too. I appreciate it. Sometimes my son is in there and he's just in the background, might have his lady listening or something, but I appreciate it. It just, like I said, it's going to help a little bit with, I really was thinking before I came on this stream on how I need to tighten down some of the streaming a little bit and the live streaming, and that's okay. But sorry, maybe produce a little more channel content. And then I was thinking about maybe just doing like a daily update or something like that with you guys. Try to regiment myself like a daily cross type of deal. It's still very time consuming for me because I don't have the tech, I don't have my son gave me an iPad and it worked for about a month or two. And then I can't get it to do anything anymore. That was kind of cool. But, I don't have a laptop. I don't have access. I do everything off a 4G. This phone I have I will not have a phone that has 5G tech on it. If I can't get a new phone and they say, nope, we don't have anything anymore with 5G, I won't get it. I just will shut this. I won't do it anymore because I know what I know what that is. So I don't want that around me at all, anywhere near me. So I know what it is. And I don't want that. It has nothing to do with the internet. So anyways, I still have to use this 4G phone to do all this, and on the most low end phone that I can get is not a high end phone. So, but I'd still like to maybe produce maybe a daily update or something on what I see, what I got my finger over the, my pulse there, and see what I see or something like that, and then take up the cross or something, and maybe I could still do some lives and stuff too. But take me a couple hours to produce, probably just a couple minute video, to be honest with you. Anything a minute but I'm pretty OCD about my cuts, and I like things to mesh and blend. And if you go watch my content on my channel, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But I don't want it. So I don't want it in my hands, in my pocket, in my house. I don't want it anywhere near me. I already have a problem with tech. So that's a different kind of tech, though. That's oh, I can't breathe. George Floyd. Oh, I know what it is because I'm a vet. So, yeah, well, I don't know if it's Denise or Dennis, but maybe you can correct me on if I'm getting that wrong. I think I was calling you Dennis, but I've been doing this a long time. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got kind of busted up and I got nerve issues. So being around this, I just can't be around the city, guys. This is why I live way out here in the country. I just have too many nerve issues, too much. I mean, it's fine. I make it fine. I do, like I said, I don't always mean to do that, but I flipped my shirt up earlier to show everybody, I'm not playing around. I've still got a winter six pack right now. Summertime it's going to be, but I'm not, I ain't playing out here, what I do is serious, and I make sure I don't flood my body with things that I don't need around me, because I still do okay with my health, but I still have those nerve problems, the conductivity problems. That's all drugs do. That's all just a channeling and like a valve. Everything's either a pulse, a stop, or a push of another valve, or it's very elementary. So tech is a lot like that too. So I got to try to stay away from that tech. I kind of ruin myself physically, but can do just fine physically if I'm not around too much tech. So, but like I said, someday if they, yeah, I know yeah, this beast system's horrible. What we've done as a military, what we've done as a nation, what we've done as veterans, and how they treat people just as a country is unreal. Again, people that supposedly defended this country, all the MAGA death, all the destruction, I don't think enough people think about that, but it's not going to stop. It's not going to go away. It's something that's been around for it's money. These are banksters, wars. What are you doing, buddy? Sorry, I got a puppy sitting right next to me here. He's getting in my face. You want to say hi or something? What are you doing? Sorry, try to steal the show. Yeah. Well, is it female? I think that's female. I was calling you Dennis more. I thought it was Dennis like a male. But now I'm starting to think it might be neat. So, he just wanted to say hi with the daddy, sitting here with the daddy, trying to steal the show. You can steal the show for a minute. Say hi. What are you, camera shy? Hey, what are you, camera shy? Oh, he's camera shy. He thinks he's a lap puppy. He thinks he's a lap dog. I think he's a big old lap puppy. He's just sitting in Dad's lap. He's 125 pounds, something like that. He's a pretty big dog, just sitting in here, and him thinks he's just a baby. And there's his, there's pants. There's the pants. There the other boy. Cool. Yeah. Puppy. He's been around a long time. He's about a dozen years old now. But he still thinks he's a puppin. He still thinks he's a puppin. Yes, him does. Him thinks he's a puppin guy. You think you're just a puppy, don't you? Yeah, he's a good boy. He's still hanging out with his dad. Oh, he's gonna hang. Oh. What are we doing here? Must be touching the screen. What we got going here? Oh my goodness. It's pretty chilly tonight. I don't know. It's probably in the teens or 20s. I don't know. We've got kind of a cold spell here. We got the wood still going. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, he wants to get up on the couch. Hey, be nice. You got to share, Dad. You can't. You have to share the dad. Hey, be nice. Sorry, they don't like sharing the dad. Well, would you get your paws off of him? He ain't gonna like that. You guys are silly. Heavy thunderstorm. Yeah, weather's. And I really wish more people would just get ready for weather more than anything else. Stop worrying about all these other details. You know, I mean, it's fun to watch, but you know, Category 5, 200-mile-an-hour winds. You know, I've talked about 200-mile-an-hour winds, and that's Category 5. And I don't think people will take that very seriously when I say that. You know, Category 6, never mind. You know, so I can't worry about what people don't do. You know, all I can do is tell people what I've seen and, you know, the cycles and, yeah, well, this puppy has been reincarnated. I know it's kind of hard to believe this, but this dog here, he kind of came back. I never had a dog like his brother. I used to have his brother, and we lost him out here at the property. He's buried out here on the property, but he acts exactly like the other dog. What are you doing? Yeah, you just kick him off the couch. So, but he's much more mild. He's much more mild than he was in his old self. But he's kind of a reincarnate. But he's a jellyfish. That's my doggo, Pavin dog. He's a dozen years old. He doesn't look a dozen years old, but he still thinks he's a puppy. He plays every day. This is what happens when you feed your dog good dog food. He still has a perfect coat, and yeah, it's my boy. What are you doing going around this side? And I said, I'm going to come lay next to Dad over here. You're just taking up all my room. I've got nowhere to go now. Big dog. No, but anyways, that dog's my life, guys. If I didn't have that dog, probably wouldn't be doing this show right now. So thank dog. No, thank God. Doggo, biggest puppin' dog. So, yep, can't pick stupid. God creates vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, and they're like, all right, I want another booster. Give me another update. Yeah, he stole my spot. You're too big. Why do you think you're a lap puppy? You're not a lap puppy. Say, yes, I am, Dad. Yeah. These puppies help the loneliness out here. They come up and help the dad when Dad's feeling lonely. I still got my puffins. Got my boys. And all my kittens. Oh, we got another one. We got another one sneaking up on us here. Got another one sneaking up on the dad. What are you trying to... I'm just going to get flooded with puppies, guys. These guys are addicted to the dad. What, dad? Yeah, they're a big help from loneliness. I guess I got therapy dogs. I guess that's what you call... Hey, leave that kitten alone. He's allowed to sit over there and... This is Penner, the kitten boy. He's a big lion kitten. He was out there. You guys see him earlier. The puppy's growling at him. Yeah. We're taking that, or stealing that spot. Now we got Mr. Pants here. What are you doing, boy? Why you got your ears back? Oh. Oh my God, this dog over here just smashing me. Oh, him's getting tapped. Him's with his dad. What was that? What was that? Got pretty ears. He likes to put them down though. You're such a silly dog. Yeah, they're not puppies. Yeah, neither of them are, but they act just like they're puppies. Just like they're puppies. What are you doing, doggy? Anyways, obviously, they've taken over the show. You're stolen the show, guys. Dad can't even keep the show going because you guys are crowding me out. What's that, Pants? Ain't he pretty? I'm the pretty boy. Oh, him was his dad. He knows I'm talking about. Oh, I can't talk with one without the other saying, no, come on. You guys don't need to play. Togo, you're too big. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you guys. It's shuffled puppies here now. Now the big guy's over here. We come hop over and say, all right, you guys quit playing musical puppies, please. So, all right. Yeah, fun to hang out with, guys. Again, my puppies keep me company when I'm not on the live stream here. So, and I'm not working. And normally if I'm working and I let them follow me around, they follow me everywhere, like the cats. In the videos, you notice the cats follow me. If I do videos, you always see the cats. So no matter where I go on this property, got a lot of property here, but they think the puppy dog. So, oh, him was you, Togie. Is that your kitten, boy? Oh, you are so nice. These guys are kissing each other, the cat and the dog. How cute. He's been around. Patner. Yeah, sure, boy. We call him Patner, and this guy's Pants. I don't know. I come up with these silly names for these animals, but now he's trying to getting you, doggo, huh? But he's been around for a few years. That puppy's a couple, or that kitten's, I think about 3 years old now. He's a good cat. He's an excellent mouser. I don't see a sign of any mice, and we have a heavy rodent population out here in the desert, but I don't see any sign of mice around this property, at least within the fenced in area. And I've got a good 5 acres in here fenced in. So just that one cat alone has done his job. These others, we've got the others, but he can take care of this property by himself. He's a good cat. And I've been letting him come inside because it's a little bit colder. He actually spent last night inside. He normally asks to go out. He likes to be outside. He just used to being out there. He's an outside cat. But last night was the first night he spent inside in some time. But it did. He was smart. It got down to about 2 degrees last night. So, yeah, get the wood stove going, though. And I got up, a couple times and put wood in the wood stove. So when I got up, again, I told you, got about 3 o'clock. The house was still nice and warm. And that's why it was about almost 4, but almost 4 o'clock. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to get out of bed while it's still warm and throw some wood on the fire and got my day started. So, and then I streamed for 12 hours or something? 13 hours, 13. But anyways, I might not stay on here too much longer, maybe another 10 or 20 minutes. So But anyways, love having these puppies around. They're always follow the dad, and they make life a little easier out here for me, being by myself. So um, kitties are wonderful. Um, Juniper and John Old are good kitties too. They're really good cats. Enjoy their. Again, they follow me all over this property, and they love to work with the dad. So when I'm working, the kitties are always nearby. So blessings. One of the Father's creations for sure, guys. Animals are such a blessing. Again, I kind of tied to this dog here. If I didn't have him, I could go tour the world and do whatever I wanted. But whatever, I make a commitment to something. I keep my commitment. So he's my old puppy, and I enjoy having Mr. Yoder Pants here. He's quite the character. He's again kind of reincarnate of a dog of his brother that passed, but for somehow this dog acts exactly, and I ain't never had another dog. I breed dogs and stuff, so I never had a dog like this guy here. But his brother was exactly like this dog, so it's kind of, and he has some very similar markings, and it's kind of neat because he was such a jellyfish, and they would fight and tear each other up. I mean, almost nearly kill each other. They were just he was very aggressive. In his not towards any other animals, people. He just had a thing with his brother. He just had a thing with his brother. So now what's kind of cool is the whole dog has been reincarnated, which kind of sounds crazy, but now he's not that aggressive. He's still the same dog because he'll bite at him when he goes into that back area. He keeps tabs on that. He lays down on the floor down there, and he will not let that dog go through there. He'll not let that big dog go through that hallway, and without biting him, And so he's still the same dog, even though, but he doesn't have that feist to him anymore, that fight. And so he gets to play with them. They sit there and play all day long. So it was hard to see his brother go, kind of reincarnated in the same dog, and now they get to play, which this guy always wanted to. He's not aggressive like that. He'll defend himself, and he'll kill a dog if a dog tries to dominate him. But if a dog sits or lays down and doesn't try to dominate, he plays them all day long. The minute a dog tries to dominate him, if it doesn't lay down, he will shake that dog or kill that dog, or what he has before. But he's always been on a farm. He's always been raised on open property, and he has the right to defend himself, like he can defend his bowl of food, and I'll put a cap in him if he tries to, do it around the water bowl, because that's a community thing. Cats need to come up and drink, he needs to drink. They need to drink near the animals with their faces right here next to each other, and not any growling, but they get to defend their bowl, and I kind of give them that reign to have protection. So themselves, they just can't be dominated or whatever. So these two had a thing. They used to, oh man, some of the fights that they have gotten in, it's been so bad, guys. When he was his bigger self, his whole mate right there was completely white. And when they get going at each other's throats and just, going for, I'd let them do it, because they had to get it out of their system. And then, which is really hard to have them do, they would literally just, we babied him. We babied him in his old body. We called him Baby. His name was Bone. He'll still answer to that because he knows his name. And like I said, he has 3 names. His original name was Bone, and Yoder Bone, and Pants is his nickname. So he has 2 dog tags with different, same telephone number, different names. But we babied him. Honestly, I did. Oh, or whatever. And this guy was, just because, don't do that to your animal. It will make him very jealous and very aggressive. Yes. He'd be like a hen. He got to get all the toys in the yard and bring them to one spot and sit on them, because I ain't sharing. That's his old style. He was such a, oh man. But not towards any other dog, or never towards any other human, just his brother. So part of it was my fault. So we don't do that anymore. And he's a big bone. He's a big bone, and we tell him he's a big bone and not the. So don't do that because that's my fault. I did that, so to speak. And whatever we learn. I'll never do that again. So, but he's much more manageable, and they get to play all day long, and he still has all the same exact traits, which is crazy because I've had not a ton of dogs, but I've always had 2 or 3 or 4 dogs. I've always had Anyways, never had a dog like him. Not any other dog I've ever had. So unique. So it's so crazy to see this totally reincarnated dog. Smaller. He was as big as him but I bred this dog out, which is crazy. I mean, this is what I consider, I've come up with a breed that it's, they make all different kinds of, different, I breed dogs, they're working dogs, but back breed, his mom was half wild dingo and half blue heeler, and his dad was a bicolor, very unique Aussie. 2, not 3, which is very rare now in Aussie. There was Aussies used to actually be 1, and then bicolor eyes with the bicolor eye. Just a very, very unique dog. And this is what I call, you've heard of a Texas heeler. This is not a Texas heeler, but a Texas Aussie. So a little bit different. It's a hybrid Texas heeler. If you breed the Aussie with the blue heeler, you get a Texas heeler. If you breed the back breed the wild dingo with the blue heeler, you get an Australian heeler. So I take and back breed that Australian heeler with the bicolored Aussie to create this Texas Aussie, where he gets his ears stand up, and they have a massive drive. They work. I breed them to work the farms. live in a farming community, and I fight with the farmers. One of the only thing that's probably kept them not from coming down my driveway and finishing me is that I do. Some of them, even though they hate me, they'll buy my dogs because they know that what it is that I have is not run of the mill. I'm super finicky about where my dog. I don't just. My dogs don't. They either go to a working dog because they can be a working dog, like a service animal, or to a farm. I'm generally don't breed these animals out for any other purpose. They're high energy dogs, but I just kept him for some reason. It just couldn't. Something told me, and he has plenty of room to farm, and he can work animals. There's stuff out here. He's plenty of room to keep himself busy, but he's quite a unique breed as you see him. When he puts those ears up, he still has the Aussie, but he has the drive of a dingo. He still has just and everybody that has taken these dogs from me and these farmers, that's why they put up with me. Because I'm not stupid, man. I could have done a food cart or breed dogs, something I have to do to calm the peace out here that I cause, all the craziness that I cause out here. Got to find something. You can get in. I could fight with these farmers and could have opened up a food cart or something out here and got into their bellies, and they would have just shut up about everything I've ever said. Whatever the food. People are just crazy about their guts. They used to say people used to think with their stomachs, so to speak. But anyways, there's a lot the way to get into people's. You can right through their gut. So anyways, so yeah, I'm super panicky. I've had people come down here before. I've tried a family to do a dog to a family one time, and they got down here all the way from Washington. And when I turned them away, the energy wasn't right. They are kind of a demanding dog. They need a lot of room. And again, if they're backbred with the dingo, they're meant to work. That's why the Aussies breed out the dingo with the other working dogs. It gives them a higher drive. They want to work nonstop. They're just eager to please, and they'll work themselves to death if you let them. You have to make them take a break. So they can do what 3 men can do all day in about 3 to 5 hours, so they are more than worth their weight in gold. That's why the farmers are like, all right, so when I get around, or I haven't done it, and I've done a few rounds because this is not the only breed I do, but this is the specialty breed that I breed out. kind of my hybrid. But he is kind of the epitome of they don't all turn out the same. They all have a very, like a Texas Aussie, or excuse me, a Texas Healer. I do the Texas, but the Texas Healer, they're throw variations like several. I could show you pictures of his brothers. It'd be like, whoa, but they're amazing animals, and they're truly an asset to a farmer. And this guy here has been incredible. He is in a total, pardon my French, but he's an attention whore. He needs me to touch him, pet him, rub him, scratch him, talk to him, love him. He's high maintenance. He's like having a girlfriend or something, when I was young, or, just a ton. Well, not all women are, but some are, right? Some women are and some women are, but he needs his attention. Every day he needs to be around me. He needs to interact. He needs to get on the ground. There's just certain interaction he needs. He's got attachment disorder when I'm not around him. So this dog over here, I could literally come up to him and go like that, and he's done. Oh, Dad touched me. I'm good. He does it. Okay, and he's done. He does not want any more than that. Is all he needs. So they're a pretty incredible breed. I tell you, they're sure, it seems like the farmers would want to be at peace with the neighbor and brother of Christ. I just don't understand people these days. Lord help us. I'm sorry. Well, no, I fight them, Michelle, because they're millionaires out here, and they grow the #1 alfalfa on the planet, and they're very, very, very highly, very wealthy, like most farmers aren't these days. They have quite a bit of money, quite a bit of property, quite a bit of equipment, and they sell most of their #1 alfalfa on the planet to overseas. So I've always called them out on that because I farm and raise animals out here myself, but I stir up crap because they wanted to keep this little tiny farming town to themselves. And I told them, nope, this town's going to blow up like you've never seen, not literally like with population and because I understand the demographics and economics. Okay. It was an economic thing that I was picking why this area would grow. So because I came in telling them, hey, this place is, kind of special and it's cyclical and that you can't stop this growth. And here's a model area where I think it could be. And I can't, I've seen all these other towns around and they just wanted to keep it to themselves. So they're known for doing that. They're known for running people out of here. I didn't come to want to live. I thought things would actually transition a little faster than they are. God is obviously very patient. And, so I already disappeared myself from society, so to speak. But then I knew that, nobody knows the day or the hour. I was with my son. I had him quite a ways away from people and, in a town of, less than 100 people, and I didn't live in that anywhere near that town, but that was the closest town. And I kind of just shut myself off from society because this is not something that I've really wanted to have to be a witness to, but having the internet or whatever. So I chose this town because when I did some research, I just fell in love with the energy, and once I came out here and got boots on the ground, if you so to speak, and watched the people here were very different than anything. I've been to all 50 states in the United States. I've been to every major city in this country. I've been out of the country. I'm a people person. I'm an energy person. So the energy is what drew me here. Obviously the Father put me here for more than one reason. But when I came here and got out here, I knew that this place was very unique and very special. And so now I've been very vindicated. Everything that they fought me on when I sat on the Chamber of Commerce and they gave me hell for and all this stuff in this town, about it's happened. I came out here, 10 years, whatever, there was out of town, the driveways, were 5 miles apart, and now we got people stabbing in every, mile in town. And, in town, it was, every 15th, every 30th lot, all sparse. And now there's a bunch of them everywhere. They're all over the place and all that stuff that they said wasn't going to happen. What they didn't want to do, and I understand a little bit with these farmers, a little bit, they want everybody to go by and do what they did here, lick the boot, get the, buy the permit, get the whole thing, go through pay the county, whatever, build the building. And then if you just assimilate here, nobody will bother you here at all. This is the perfect place in the world to come and be left alone. A lot of people come out here to be left alone because it is away for a couple, hours from a city, and but it's not so far away. And well, anyways, it's more of an economic thing as well. Okay, that's why I picked out here, because it was extremely affordable, as it was massively inflated in the cities, which I seen as the city right next to the big city that I'm talking about. Still to this day, I haven't been able to take over that city, but that thing is just nothing but houses. And showed him, hey, look at this little town next to this town. They obviously somebody's making sure here that there's a certain, they have, like, I'm talking about Lapine. Okay, I call it LA Pine, but Lapine, Oregon, there's no Walmart there. They got a Bi-Mart. They don't have a Safeway. They got a Raise. They don't have these big box chains. Again, they've got a Dollar Tree. They have the smaller, places, and they haven't let a Walmart. They haven't let anything big, off their extensions to their, outer areas right off. There's just small little industry, but it's massive amount of housing, and it goes all the way now to that big city. I mean, all the way to that big city, but they've controlled that little town's growth. It's still not it's not a one-lane town, but it's been very controlled because they have not let these other big businesses in. So I sat on the Chamber of Commerce out here for years, and was telling them that you guys are trying to make it so nobody can come out here. You're trying to restrict the growth. You need to control the growth, and I was trying to explain to them in certain ways, and I didn't, they just didn't understand the way I did things. I did things a little wild and different to try to catch people's attention, but whatever works. I've been a marketer and things like that. So I know what I'm talking about, about, hey, you guys in this county, they didn't fund dispensaries, and everybody's upset in this town because they don't get any of the taxes from these dispensaries that come from the southern portion of the county. And I told them they're idiots for not allowing this, dispensary type stuff. And you guys get all up because they don't have money. They don't need it. They don't need this extra money that comes from the southern portion of the county. And I said, and I brought up the fact of a strip club. I said, every town needs a dispensary and a strip, but you don't want them within the town area. These need to go outside of the town limits, for privacy, and all those things function much better and will bring more money in than actually. So we didn't want to restrict their growth here. We want to, oh my God, he said dispensary, he said strip club. So I like messing with them, guys. I like telling them your money don't mean nothing. You ain't going to stop the growth in this town. And they're like, you guys, a lot of the problem is too, people come out here and try to make it out here. Like myself, I came out here with an idea in mind, and I actually came out here with a good chunk of things before I got out here and could have done just fine. But most people come out here and can't make it more than a winter or two. It's just, if you're trying to do the off-grid thing and live in a, in a travel trailer or small, because you come out here and live in a sleeping bag if you wanted to. There's not too many places like this left in the U.S., guys. I mean, it is quite unique out here, okay? There's a lot of dips and valleys, so you can find yourself a private place, and if you don't mess with anybody, go to town, do your thing. Nobody's going to even see you, and nobody's going to say anything. So, yeah, we have one actually both of them carry, and there's one in Silver Lake now within the stores. So there's multiple places that they do sell, not just beer here. I'm not a big drinker, but they do have that available. So, but anyways, you guys, I told them, that you're not going to stop this growth. And what I'm trying to explain to you is some people come out here, guys, and they try to make it and they don't, or they come out here and they buy something and they don't. You need to stay out here. If you get enough space out here, guys, I mean, there are people, I call them sage rats or whatever. They pick off things that sit out here for a while and don't get, you just buy a piece of product. Some people don't have any issues out here. I don't, on this side of town or whatever, but if you let something sit there for a while, it gets somebody come by and pick it up if they never see anybody there for years. So I try to explain people don't touch anybody's property out here. If it's not yours, don't touch. I've had issues with this already, telling people off, and anyways, but I understand how here's what, let me explain it to you and I'll get back to my point. The county has to deal with all these people who call in and say, oh, my stuff got taken or whatever, all the stuff that they've got this people out there rummaging through people who couldn't make it, couldn't come out here, buy the permit. Now, which is awesome, people moved out of that big $800,000 house and the car payments and all that and did all that, which I told these people that was going to happen. They came out here and they, instead of living on a little tiny piece of land in a big old house, they got a big old piece of land with a nice, small, quaint living space that they can heat and cool. And some of them actually have much bigger spaces because they've dug basements and they're much larger than they appear with the decks. But whatever, they own the gravel driveway. They own the power poles. They own all the build. They're not in debt anymore. And now they got $100,000 in their bank and they paid off their cars and they love it out here. And those farmers, if they had their way, they were trying to stop people like me from coming out here. I came out here in a tent. I lived out here in a tent when I first moved out here. I didn't just come out here and, have all the luxury. I built everything I've had out here. And I started with, and then 5-6 years ago, I had everything taken from me from my own blood. It wasn't people from here that had the issue, it was my own blood. But anyways, I came out here and I do it differently. I'm very excessive compulsive about having trash in my yard, and I don't want I don't care about what people think. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses, but curb appeal, so to speak. I don't want anybody to see anything that I don't want them to see. And if I have things, I stack them neatly, dress, and I put them out of the people's eye, and then I don't have them. They won't even come up here. Now, my property don't look like anybody else's property out here, okay? Anything I build looks like it's been out here for 100 or 200 years. So any new ordinance officer or whatever comes out here, they ain't even going to know this is a what? There ain't no way, okay? The only way is because somebody complains with them in the county, but I don't think this county wants to mess with somebody who's been getting people to, I don't know. I want things out of the way of the public, and then I don't want the issues, because if I don't give them a reason, and when I build something, I actually build it just to kind of blend in here. You know what I'm saying? I build things that look like they've been here for hundreds of years. So how can you even know it's new? I probably caused divorces and stuff out here. Honey, they're thinking it's the Mandela effect or something. Let's just run with this real quick, right? I've got the rusty butterfly back there. Looks like, looks like an old saloon, and, whatever. It's how I build everything out here. It's got that old, everything looks old. So, all right. So, I kind of have this a way of doing things. And so the rusty butterfly, because you can see it from the road, I'm 80 acres in, actually that's about 40 acres in on that parcel right there. But no, that'd be 60. I apologize. 60, not 80. So it's about 60 in from the road. So it can still be seen. It's not a massively large building, but it's, it looks like a saloon. And I'm sure people have driven by and gone, honey, that building's never been there. What are you talking about, honey? That's been there, because you can't tell, and I hope I haven't caused a death or a divorce over these buildings, but I bet you people have been like, honey, that thing's been there all along. No, it hasn't. Yes, it is. No, oh my God. But it's hard to tell. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I build. So the county can't, always living in a travel trailer. And that's what the rusty butterfly is. It's a travel trailer that I've skinned the whole outside of it, and you can't even tell. There's no way anybody would walk up to that and know it's a travel trailer. As a matter of fact, I left the front, hoop on the outside of the front of it with the hitch so that people would even believe me from the outside, because they would never know. See what I'm saying? It's literally like an old travel trailer, like an old canned ham, but it's larger than that, but old, I haven't converted the inside, but when I'm done with the inside, you'll have no idea that it was any of it. It'll all be buried. So, anyways, that's how I do it, guys, to keep the county off my butt. This is the way I choose to do it. Most people don't do it that way. Again, if you just leave people alone, you don't fight with the farmers, you don't call out the police, and you can just be left alone out here. Because people, again, they come out to this valley and they weren't like me with their stuff blowing around, and it gets people, because you can do whatever you want out here, guys. And you got to imagine people take full advantage of that, right? So this town has tried to clean some of that up, and they did a pretty decent job down the main highway. Once these ordnance officers try to go off the side road, they ain't having it. We got our own law out here. That's what happened to them. So they quit trying to do that. Then they started sending them around again, and the guy was, getting himself going on the other side of the line, and people started talking. We came together, meeting of minds out here, and we let him know, good guy ain't trying to, you're going to end up getting them unalived, because people out here ain't going to take it. Twisted Sister, they do not care. They're not here to mess around. They do not want anybody on their property without a warrant. And if you bring somebody on their property, they're going to be unalived. So you better quit sending them around. Here's their Fourth Amendment right, and they're going to do it. So they quit sending them around. These are the things I fight for in this community, brothers and sisters, in this community that I live in. So people can actually have these rights to it's God's land. They can live on the land. They shouldn't be extorted by their, ordinances, mandates, and codes. That's not laws. Those aren't laws. I don't go on date with men. I don't do mandates, and I don't follow ordinances or codes. This is not something. I live like a man of the land and soil. I build what I want. I'll drill holes in the ground and pull water out if I want. I'll poop on the land if I don't do that. I have composting toilets and burn my compost. But I'll do what I want. I'm not going to have somebody tell me and cross over my God-given rights. So I live very organically, more, much more than most. And I just choose to live this way because, to me, I'm not participating in a lot of this tech. Yes, I do the stream, and yes, but I do make my own power, the sun and the wind, and I'm self-sufficient. I can turn this off and disappear, and you'd never see me again, so to speak. And I could shut my gates and stay here for 20 years by myself. I could live that efficient right now. I could shut my gates by myself, and I don't need anything for 20 years. I have supplies to make it 20 years here by myself. So I just got that back in the last 5 years. Remember, I had everything taken from me, but I'm efficient. Everything's legal. I do buy, sell, trade. I'm a horse trader. And because of tech, I've taken it and flipped it right on its head. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to access our rights, because God tells us that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You'll be judged by the law that you go by. So if you go by this dirt law or these capital letter laws, or you go by all that stuff, and you're not willing to receive persecution for going by God's law, then you're failed, this testament that we are under. We must go through suffering. We must be persecuted. We must be condemned, not literally, spiritually crucified and hated by the world. You know what I'm saying? But most people don't want to go down that difficult path, and that's why he doesn't choose most people as his bride. And but this is what God calls me out to do. And I feel much more wholesome. I feel much more at peace with my inner self and who I am eternally. I got to be accountable for the time that I'm here. I don't want to be in a city. I was born in one of the largest cities in the world. Once they got me to the country, there was no going back. Once they put the country into this boy, there was no leaving the country. And I've always been in, country since then. I told you, I already disappeared, moved way out into the woods, next to water, next to all that. But I chose to come back and find the happy medium. So I'm glad I came where I'm at, because this place is absolute a front row ticket to the biggest show on earth. I guarantee you. No, I don't guarantee nothing, but I've been studying for decades. And I believe that God has placed me to where when this, whatever event, this major event, not the one that's coming here in April, or not even, we're years away from this event that I'm talking about. This is not the end of the world, brothers and sisters. You better hold on. We got a long way to go. He tells us you must endure to the end to be saved. So yeah, you were already bought. Ain't nobody saving nobody. It's a purchased possession from the foundation of the world, and you must endure to the end to be saved, to be picked up. His bride that he paid the bride price for. There's no being saved. It's a one-time purchase, but you have to endure. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves, take up your cross. Spiritually, brothers and sisters, daily, every day. You can't set it down. You got to do this every single day. Condemned by the world and hated by this world for the things that you do. Not admitted. You got to do what Christ said. Remember, through his apostle Paul, through predestination, the ones that he chose to pull from this darkness, like Peter, Paul, right, himself, the mass murder of Christians, a Pharisee, Matthew, the tax collector. God chooses who he chooses to pull from the darkness. The channel name is predestined for light. That's predestination. Prohorizo in the Greek, to be predetermined for the horizon. They called the horizon, that's where the sun came up, the light. That's why I call the channel predestined for light. A little more in a parable so you can understand what the channel means. But to be predetermined or to be imprisoned into this sin of this earth, this darkness that we are born of this corrupt dust, and he chooses who he chooses from this corrupt dust and pulls us from the prison, the division of day and night, dark and light. He chooses who he chooses to pull from the darkness into his horizon, into his light, hence the name predestination. That is the one-time purchase bride that he will call out at the wedding feast of the lambs. That oligos flock that he calls out in the book of Luke. Fear not, oligos flock. It's an oligos number of people who find that narrow, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. We need to narrow ourselves, and then he grows in us. That's, you have to deny self. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves. It's a narrowing. It's that narrow. The word is theologo. That is the Greek word, the noun. That means to be pushed down on both sides. And so how do you get this? How you carry your cross, brothers and sisters. When he says take up your cross, you must be condemned. So does your family think you're crazy because you don't celebrate these holidays? Welcome to being condemned by the world. They hate it when you tell people, why are you celebrating these birthdays with kids? Birthdays are not in scripture. That's not a biblical thing. There's only just a couple in scripture. And King Herod, he was trying to kill Jesus. And then you're celebrating Jesus' birthday on the birthday of the sun god? Oh my goodness, good luck with that. Then on research, right? My perishable people will perish for lack of knowledge. So he chooses who he wants and takes us from whatever sin that we are in. If I did not call out to their hearts to seek after me, he tells us that not one of them would. They are cardinal of the flesh, idolaters, not one of them would. He is the one who chooses who he chooses from the foundation of the world. And he chooses that bride and he puts them through hell. Not literally, but a suffering. Hell is below the abyss, the place of no knowledge by definition, what you call hell. That's the word abyss. And in the Greek word, it's one word. In English, it's one word. In Greek, it's two. Okay? The alpha, the A, I am the alpha. He said, I am the alpha, the beginning of the Greek alphabet. That negates any word that follows in the Greek. If you study Greek, you know that cancels whatever word that follows. So the word abyss, Revelation 9:11, they have an angelos, a messenger over them. The angelos, the messenger of the abyss. It probably says lake of fire in your watery, milky down version of the translation. You need the meat. The meat is not this watered down version translation. You need to go to the definition in the original text. This is in Revelation 9:11. It says they have an angelos, a king over them. It's their king. We have a king, Shiloh. Holds the inheritance to the church. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, the Lion King. Get it? The scepter, the inheritance shall not depart from Judah. He was the lion from the tribe of Judah, from Bethlehem, born of David, right? Born of Bethlehem, as David declared, also born of Bethlehem. He was the Lamb of God, Aries the ram, Leo the lion from the tribe of Judah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah until Shiloh returns, right? the inheritance, the one who holds the inheritance to the church, the king, the one who chose his bride from the foundation of the world, the one that will call his bride out at the wedding feast of the lambs. The bride and the bridegroom, correct? People got this all twisted, brothers and sisters. They've got this religious nonsense, other Jesus that we were warned about. So they don't think they have to go through suffering. They think God loves everybody. They think that we don't have to go. God knows what's in their heart, and that's what they believe. Like John 3:16 believe, right? If you believe, you'll be sozo. Sozo, save. Remember, save. You have to endure to the end to be saved. They don't define anything. We have to. Yes, exactly, Michelle. We have to go through suffering. Remember the Apostle Paul, after they threw him off a precipice and threw down, big bolt, he got up as a bag of bones. And, it looked like he was going on a camel about 100 miles an hour, right into the side of the palace wall. Bag of bones, he stood up and said, we must go through much thlipsis, tribulation to be with the Father. There's that narrowing. Tribulation. Your friends hate you. Oh, yeah, you don't go to the Christmas party. You don't do the white elephant party. You don't do these pagan celebrations, and they think something's wrong with you, huh? Oh, yeah, don't participate in these office parties during the holidays. Hey, what's wrong with you? You don't like Easter? What are you, the Grinch? What are you, Jehovah's Witness? They're going to accuse you of being all kinds of different things, brothers and sisters. That is the crucifixion. That is the suffering that we must go through spiritually. Remember, he paid the bride price in blood, in the flesh. He paid that. Now he says, once was written on tables of stone, pounded out, literally, remember, orally given to Moses, was pounded on the tablets. He tells us once was written on tables of stone is now sprinkled with that blood, that sacrifice, bride price that he paid in blood. The bride price he paid in the flesh for the sins of his bride, all flesh. Not just the house of Aaron and Levite, but all flesh. Not everybody. Remember, oligos. Just a little bit of everybody. Not everybody, but oligos from everybody. He's not quite so narrow. Yeah, he said, oh, it's beautiful. That's the coming of the king, brothers and sisters. Because remember, Revelation 9:11 says they have an angelos, a messenger over them, the message of the abyss. The king. And bis is the word knowledge. Bathos or busos is the word in Greek. Same word for knowledge. So hell is the place of no knowledge. Not what most people believe, because believe is not a thought in your head. Oh, that John 3:16 thing's becoming an issue, huh? Oh, yeah, no, that's a verb. Faith is a noun. You got to put legs on faith, brothers and sisters, but it's not what most people believe, because they don't know phonics, they don't know the Babel, they don't study the dialectus, the tongue, the gloss. They speak in translation. I call it out the side of their translation. But if you leave definition, as you see, abyss is the place of no knowledge. And most people don't go back to their lexicon. They don't define anything. They speak in translation. So, they speak the other Jesus that we were warned about. Yeah, that's why he says, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. He said, be meek, not weak, but be meek, be wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. Yes, he did. He said, you must be wise, right? He said, the meek will inherit the earth. Oh, you mean like the scepter shall not depart from Judah until Shiloh returns. Oh, the one who holds the inheritance of the church and comes back and is going to seek the vengeance. Woo! That's why he says, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. We are under a new covenant, brothers and sisters. The covenant of the bride. Not weak, meek, will inherit. You'll be a ruler. A kingdom will be given rule over this realm and this. Well, this place will be destroyed with fire, brothers and sisters. That's the promise of the rainbow. Never forget. Yeah, no more doing the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. We knew what happened. Yeah, he's not going to flood this whole earth again. He's going to bring the fire. I must come back with eyes of fire, huh? And the voice of many waters. Woo, won't it be beautiful? It's like that living water being poured out on his fish, huh? Aquarius, Fomalhaut, Pisces. Oh, work that backwards. Where does it lead to? Oh, Aquarius, the age of revelation, the age where these daemonions and devils cannot hide, because some of us are teaching people how to find this aletheia, this truth. He said, I am the aletheia. I am the hados. You must be in that narrow way. That is the word, the way, to be in the same narrow way as Christ. Theolobos. Theolobo is the noun. Theolobos is the verb, and that means to be pinched down through a narrow opening, right? Be pinched down. So hated by the world, hated by your friends, hated by your family, and you can't take that cross and set it down. You must pick it up and take it daily. And if you're going to be his disciple, as he says in the book of Luke, fear not, oligos flock, who shall ever be my disciple, you must take up your cross and follow after me. So it's not what people think. They're religious and they're ignorant, and they follow the other Jesus and the other gospel that the Apostle Paul warned us. Remember the one who said, I also did foreknow who I did predestine to conform to the image of Christ. Oh, I said I knew these ones before. Remember, he said, I so loved Jacob and I hated Esau before either one were ever born or done anything on this earth. Oh, it's like it's pre-written from the hashtag flesh part of the foundation of the world do you not understand. It was a one-time purchased possession, his bride, but only those that are willing to take up their cross daily and go through a narrowing and a suffering. He would call their names out in the book of life if they don't change a jot or a tittle, if they don't add or take away from the book, even their own opinion. They have to use definition to define and find that aletheia. Because if you leave the definition and you leave the aletheia, the truth, right? You leave the definition, you've left the truth. You're speaking translation now. 99% of the world I come across, brothers and sisters, they speak in translation. They have no biblical understanding. They have no historical understanding. They don't. It's just they have no, the aletheia, it's not in them. The gospel, the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, is not in them. God writes it on our hearts, but he doesn't reveal it to all. Remember, oligos. If he's given you eyes to see and remove the scales from your eyes, brothers and sisters, you realize how blessed you are if you have a hearing ear. And you're hearing this gospel, you're hearing this message, and it calls out to you. This isn't biblical. This comes from another brother and sister that said, hey, we were bringing up the subject. We were edifying each other with the word, but said, how do you know if you're one of God's chosen? Because you question it, if you're worthy or not. Most people don't even care and never even question. They don't narrow themselves. God's not talking in their head, making them feel guilty about anything, brothers and sisters. That's right. People love that watery gospel. Remember, the Apostle Paul warned us, they will come preaching another gospel that I did not preach and speaking another Jesus. Oh, yeah, the Nimrod orgy sex Jesus that they celebrate on the birth of their son, God, December 25th. Because Christ wasn't born in December. That's an impossibility. In Israel, I've been a sheep farmer myself. It's a very similar climate. Too much rain in the months of October, November, and December. The sheep get put up. They get put up. They're not out in the pasture. So apologize. We're not supposed to celebrate birthdays to begin with. He tells us it'd be better to celebrate our death than our birth. So what are you doing celebrating the birth of Christ on the birth of the orgy sex king Mithra? Their 7-day orgy, Saturnalia, Feast of the Yule, where they ate the king of the Saturnalia, barbecued him, sacrificed him, threw him in the fire, charcoaled him, and ate him. Paganism, cannibalism, eat my body, crackers and grape juice, drink my blood, vampism, cannibalism, communion. That's paganism. Oh, that's their orgy sex Jesus that I'm telling you about, that this Christmas Jesus, the one who doesn't dwell in houses made by hands. He tells us the Most High does not dwell in temples or houses made by what? No. So that's the orgy. Do you see Christmas in Scripture anywhere? Yeah, I warn you about this Christmas orgy sex Jesus, that these mass celebrators that eat my body, crackers and grape juice, communion, ritual, sacrifice, eat the Yule, eat the Yule King, eat the Yule King, throw your kids in the fire and eat the kids. Oh, you mean Moloch? Oh, Krampus. Remember, he ate kids too, right? Santa, hello, tree worship. Nimrod, stand the tree up, worship the tree. He was a mighty hunter. Oh, the evergreen. Oh, my goodness. It's just littered in paganism. Oh, it's almost like somebody took paganism and combined it with Christianity, huh? Oh, yes, that's Roman Catholicism. Christmas, under a different name. Sacrament of the Mass, Feast of the Yule, Feast of Saturn, the Saturnalia. I don't know. The devil has many names. Christ, Yeshua, Elohim, the Most High, Shiloh. That's Shiloh. I am. Be comforted. I am. You come in here and say aliens exist. So who said aliens existed or not? What do you mean? Aliens exist. Who said? Well, it's like you're pushing my buttons or something. Who said anything about aliens? Oh, illegal alien invasion. My bad. Oh, it's an alien invasion, the great alien invasion, guys. Let's get back to this a little bit because I want to talk about this subject real quick because it's very important. I think it has everything to do with what I'm talking about. Please, guys, there are people that have come into this country and have for decades, and they've assimilated just fine. And I'm sure there's people in this country that don't have nefarious plans to do anything to anybody here, but just get away from the problems that we've caused in their country. But I'm sure there is a fair amount of people in this country right now that are coming over here because I'm a veteran and I don't fall asleep at the wheel here. We have over 800 military bases in over 180 countries, and we have gone and kicked the snot out of the nations, like the money changers it talks about in Scripture. Remember, he fastened the cord off the curtains and whipped the living pit, and turned over the tables, the dove, people that were selling the doves, doing the changing over for the sacrifice for the lamb to buy it and change it over to the money changers. He got physical. And we have gone around and made every nation pay for our oil with the US dollar and force them to buy our oil and then pay for it and tax them to do that. So America is the money changers of the Bible. Don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever let that slip out of your head. We will get all the judgments that you funded it. You sent money to war. You're funding it now. You're paying for death and destruction right now if you have a job. You have blood on your hands. Don't bail out of the room like last time I started talking about this. Stand by. You fund these wars. I'm a veteran. I'm standing up for I'm guilty. I'm guilty, okay? So you're funding this. The sooner people stop doing this, the better off we'll be. So that's why I choose to live like I live. So I'm not sending money to Ukraine or to these other countries. Do you understand? We fund these wars, brothers and sisters, and we have forced every nation to pay for this oil. That's what all this, dropping 3 steel buildings, with 2 airplanes is all about. It's been that, I thought this was some guy hiding in a cave. What are we doing over in Iraq? Kuwait, Afghanistan. Brothers and sisters, wake up. We have this coming. We have displaced most of these people that are coming across this border, but I'm still asking you to act with some humanity. Use discernment. Use some discernment. Not everybody's coming across this border are nefarious, but there are so many people now. I'm asking you to be cautious because even at the numbers of people that are flowing across this border, even if a small amount of them have a nefarious plan, you guys, things are going to get very, very serious in this country, and they already are. They already are. They're funding, like in Maine, they're giving these, they call them newcomers, not migrants or immigrants or legal aliens, but they call them newcomers, can get 2 years housing from $1,800 to $2,300 a month. You guys, they made it the American people wait how long for a $1,200 check? Do you not see what's happening here? I hope you see how fast this is progressing. And most people are just blind to this. People who live in the cities are seeing these people. I've seen massive amounts of videos. I'm doing studies on this when I'm not on here, seeing these people in all these cities. People are filming them. And a lot of them have come here with a similar, we're waiting for the, this to, you guys, many of them are given a gift card the minute they get here. Do you know how much money has been spent just in this recent, current administration on just this? In New York, a family of 4 can get up to $20,000 a month. $20,000 a month in benefits. You got them breaking it up here in Seattle above me, in the state above me, into having a little insurrection, breaking into their Capitol building and storming in there and saying, hey, these hotel rooms aren't cutting it. We want housing. So you're paying for that. You're paying for that. You are paying for that. Whether you understand it or not, is coming out of your taxes to pay for these programs. These grants, I just said they give a grant for 2 years for newcomers or migrants for housing. And then they go to a 30%. They only have to pay 30% after 2 years. And you got how much money to shut this whole country down and close almost more than half of the small businesses in this country? Middle-class Americans were just disappeared. And they got, what, a $1,200 check for their business? I still want you to act with some humanity, though, brothers and sisters, but I want you to understand you're being set up. And I believe this is God's judgment that's coming to this country. And you can't escape this, brothers and sisters, but I don't know. I think if you put on the armor of God and you act with some civility, some humanity, and your intentions are going to mean everything right now. Remember, because the road to hell was paved with good intentions. So be careful. Use discernment. Use the Holy Spirit. Use the Ruach HaKodesh. Because what does God tell us to do in this situation? So that's what I'm asking you to do. Use both discernment. Be aware this is going on, but try to also remember how we're supposed to treat human beings. Okay? Keep in mind, most people are not, I don't believe that a lot of people coming in here, guys, have this nefarious plan. Again, if you look at history in the last 15 years, most of them assimilated just fine. But there's obviously something has changed in the last thing, because they weren't paying any of those people, guys. They weren't paying those people in the sense that they're paying these people. They came here and got jobs and paid taxes and assimilated. These people are giving entitlements. Now, this is a different game that's being played. You understand? Colorado residents just got a notice in Denver saying, hey, there's something like 40,000 of these people that have come into our cities, immigrants. So if you're on this renter's list with us and you have a renter's contract with us, with the city, will you, then they call them newcomers again, will you take on these people and these newcomers? And they're asking them right now in Denver, but I'm sure it won't be too much longer before these property owners are told, hey, you need to provide housing, because there's that many coming in that they're having to contact people saying, hey, we are running out of housing and we need you to step in and fill in the gap. So this is progressing very quickly, brothers and sisters, very, very, very quickly. And it's not going to stop. I don't care if they put Mr. Trump back in tomorrow. This will not stop. He was going to build the greatest wall ever, which he never did. If he would have done it, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now, right? So don't sit there and bring his name up. He's not going to fix and not save anything. The only thing I think you can do right now is put on that armor of God and think about how God wants you to act. Act with some civility, act with some humanity, and think about what is going on around you. Yes, they already have in these, Michelle, they already have in like New York and stuff. They've already called in the National Guard. Think about that. Do you guys know what the term posse comitatus means? That's one of your constitutional rights. Posse comitatus. Do you have any idea what that means? You ever heard that term? 10 of you in here. Anybody heard the term posse comitatus? You know what that means? Yeah, thank you. What that means, Kinetic said, yeah, the National Guard is being used as police. Posse comitatus means we cannot use our military as a police force. And they are breaking that constitutional right now in New York. So don't think that this government ain't playing no games, man. You're being set up. Yeah, that's right. That's what they're going to do, Michelle. They are your door kickers. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. These people that are brought into this country are going to kick down your door with a blue helmet on. I don't care what anybody thinks about this. This is the whole signaling of the blue. Blue, 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 blue moon. I saw you standing alone. Yep. And from the sky. They're multifaceted. As is above, so is below. Don't ever forget these people do everything off the stars. Everything goes by the stars. So there we go. We should never see a National Guard with machine guns. They have machine guns. So they're acting in a law enforcement capacity, which is against the Constitution, posse comitatus. Yep, it's happening in Texas. Obviously, massive people have been affected by this. So, guys, I appreciate just having the conversation. It's not the freak out. It's not, it's crazy. It's crazy how insanely fast things are breaking down inside this country. They're attacking our food. They're bringing in all these people. They're paying them entitlements. Our debt is they're having to come up with $1 trillion right now every 100 days to keep this going alive right now, guys. $1 trillion every 100 days. That's sickening. That's just sickening to me. I don't have gobs of money or anything, but the money that is being spent right now is unfathomable. Absolutely. And I know what it signals. It signals the end of this as we know it. This has happened to every country. They hyperinflate out until they fall apart. And that's what's happening right now. So people won't pay attention. Like I said, they got the attention span, of a pea. I don't know. This old guys, they just can't pay attention. So it's just going to keep accelerating, though, guys. They're not going to stop. There's people that have decided not to come through Eagle Pass, and now they're all piling in through California. The border is completely porous. If Mr. Trump would have built the stupid wall like he said, he wasn't talking about that kind of wall, but we wouldn't be having this issue. So I knew that wasn't supposed to happen that way. Just keep saying it because it's ironic and just the way it goes down. So, even if Mr. Trump built that wall, do you know how you ruin that greatest wall ever? How do you ruin the greatest wall ever? Mr. Trump built that greatest wall ever. I don't care. It's sparkling in gold like Solomon's temple, right? How do you defeat that wall? There's actually two ways to defeat that wall, isn't there? It doesn't matter how great your wall is. So, but that's how this is done now, guys. The cartels don't run drugs anymore. This has been a thing. I tried to bring this up to people 10 years ago. I said this exact thing. Thank you. All the tunnels that have been there, one staircase. Oh, sorry, greatest wall ever. Oh, whoop, over the wall you go. So, mount the wall, over the wall. Sorry, you guys, that's a military thing. My bad. For anybody's a veteran, like, oh my God. We just did mount training. No, anyways. So, this is still happening, though. This is still happening, and yeah, we could easily defeat this by bringing home all our militaries and stop funding all this death and destruction all over the world. Like I said, I'm going to keep putting this out. I hate our military. Do you support our military? I don't support our military. I don't support our military, what they're doing right now. They're killing people in other countries all over the world, and you're paying for it. So I don't support it, and I don't support you paying for these people to be killed in other countries. Please stop doing that. And please stop supporting it. Stop thanking veterans for their service. Stop thinking that all this death and destruction is okay. These pretendants get to be mass murderers and get away with it, and people vote for them. So stop this destruction by don't do this anymore. Doritos, this whole system. How about that? That's the newest thing. How about that? Like Doritos, boycott it. Stop doing it. Because you are paying for it if you have a job. You are paying for this death and destruction when we should bring home all our troops. I would support them if they were in these borders, sure. Because then we wouldn't have our National Guard down at the border making all our other states vulnerable. You have no idea how war or any of this stuff works if you're not a veteran. If you've never war gamed anything, then you don't understand how wars work. Wars are not started with bombs falling. That's not how any war has ever been started in America. You're blind to your history if you don't know that. No, wars are started with tariffs, embargoes, sanctions, things like we see, migrations, and look at what happened in Ukraine. A whole bunch of people left the thing because nobody wanted to fight their war, huh? Then they disappeared a whole generation over there, and you paid for it in the last 2 years. You paid to unalive a whole generation of people, gone. So I'm like, what, 700 million or something? It's disgusting what has happened over there. But you funded it if you filled out a W-2, just so you know. So if we just would bring our military home, like our founding fathers said, no foreign entanglements, and put them on our borders, we could solve our border problem immediately. There's enough National Guard to stay in the states to keep all the states safe, because there are obviously a bunch of people already here. And if we brought all our Navy home, we would have nobody crossing our waters. We could protect Alaska up there by Russia. You could fart and smell it in Russia. It's that close to Alaska. Oh, I smelt that over here, neighbor. What are you on there? Woo, Americans are on the beans over there. It's right there. Everybody thinks Russia's Russia is right here, you guys. And Magog invades from the north if you ain't figured it out. Read the biblical, what's going to happen, and you'll know exactly how this is going to go down. It's going to go down by what it says in the book. This is all a big sidetrack, but anyways, pay attention here. This is going on at a breakneck speed, and they're not stopping. They're smashing down on this gas pedal with their economy, flooding people into this country. Mexico's not bad. I thought about leaving, but I got these dogs, and I got my kid that's still in this country, my son, that got to wait till he can take off. But this is Russia's right there. This is not something that, again, you can just walk away from. This is actually happening. This is actually not, these people are being flooded into this country. They're here already. So if we brought our Marines and we put them all along the northern and southern border, Semper Fi, hoorah, and the Army. We could either Army takes the North or the South or whatever, or we can mix and just half the Army and then the Marines together, because they are on the tip of the spear and they love to be there on the front line. That's what Marines do. Okay, Army is right there with them. Military police are the very first ones into battle, the Army, and the last ones to leave. They're in there with the Cav Scouts. They do the prison, so they are the last ones to leave the battlefield, right? So we'll bring all these troops home. All our Air Force will fly around all our borders in the air to make sure there's no more chemtrailing. I'll outlaw chemtrailing over the United States. No more cloud seeding, no more chemtrailing, none of that. All gone. Abolish the federal government. I'll shut down all the buildings. See, this is how I would run this country. I would make sure that there are no military bases anywhere. Imagine how different this country would feel if we shut down all our military bases in the 180 countries. Over 800 bases outside our borders when our founding fathers said no foreign entanglements. So when I say bring them all home, I don't bring our troops home. I mean, shut our military down. We don't need it anymore. We'll defend ourselves. That's vengeance. Everything we do outside of this border is an apostasy to God. We can defend ourselves, but we're out seeking vengeance. Pre-crime. Bring home all these troops. We solve our border problem, huh? Border problem solved. We've got quite the economic problem. A $1 trillion military budget. Yep, $1 trillion military budget every year. I bet you we can cut that in a third. That's $1 trillion is more than all the other nations' militaries combined, brothers and sisters. This ain't no joke, the money that we spend every year. And I just told you they're printing, right now, $1 trillion every 100 days. So this is getting economically out of hand as well. The system is collapsing. We already see these banks going insolvent. All the banks that shut down last year, all the Silicon Valley, all these, there's New York, the one in New York. This is falling apart at the seams. So there will be another nation that will come over here, guys, and take this nation over. I guarantee you. $250 for a pack of drumsticks. Yeah. So, yeah, the food is ridiculous. The price, this is getting extremely serious right now, guys. This is not a time to be joking around and playing around. Food is expensive. They're giving all this money away to everybody else other than protecting ourselves. We are literally funding death and destruction around the world. And nobody here is ever worried about anything like karma or any of that coming back to us. We have stomped these nations with 800 military bases, guys. And you don't think these people are going to come back and and do anything? You realize we use such thing as called depleted uranium? And that affects people's generations after generation. It just don't. So they're not going to forget what they're, it's a trickle-down effect, like Reaganomics. Remember that? Oh, that didn't work out. Never, that's a bad idea. Reaganomics didn't work out very well, did they? Yeah, that's starting to happen. I've tried to warn these credit unions and stuff. It's not going to be even necessary to have a bank anymore. Become your own bank. Become your own central bank. There you go. That's how you become your own bank. Right there. Boom, shakalaka. Become your own bank. So, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. You know what I'm doing? What are you guys doing about this? Are you guys doing anything about this right now? Can you tell me what is your plan for what's going on? Do you have a plan for what's going on right now? How are you going to make it the next year or two? I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think I'm going to get off here in just a minute or two. I said that, but I appreciate you guys on this, really staying over this, because this is serious. The chili bowl stuff, and it just keeps adding up. The economics, the flooding of the people coming into this country. the food, the attack on the food, the attack on the water, it's everywhere, guys. It's incredible that how far this has gone in just the last, couple years, couple decades. It's just spun completely out of control. So what's your plans? What are you doing right now? What are you doing about it? Do you know anything about my water overlay map? Have you seen anything about my water overlay map? Have you seen where the government is taking all over this land in the United States? Here on the West Coast, they don't have any interest on the East Coast. Any heard about my overlay map? That's what's got me shadow banned again on TikTok here we beat the algorithms earlier. We had the room cranking with some people in here, but can't always beat this algorithm, guys. Sometimes it's just getting into the right verbiage and talking around the right verbiage sometimes and having the right opening. So, but I've been massively shadow banned since I put that video out. So I hope you do something about that as well. I don't want to see, and I don't want to be right about that, but I don't think I'll be wrong, because when I take my overlay map, it matches the federal map. And so there's no way they don't know this is happening or going to happen. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So yeah, I think if is out of the question at this point. So because it's just a cycle, it's just a cycle. It happens. We don't cause it. Man does not cause the oceans to raise and lower between 100 and 400 feet. That's not something man does. That's done by God, and I'm pretty sure it's the sun that's going to do it. I've showed you magnetism. So you're going to need a bigger boat. You're going to need something. My problem that I think that's going to come, guys, is I really almost wish it would just be one wall of water. I really do. I really wish it'd be one wall of water and just get it done and over with. But I don't think that's how what I'm telling you is going to work. I tell you, I think it's going to be exactly like I'm telling you: birthing pains, sorrows, labor pains. So it will wash up first onto all the continents, probably less than 100 miles in the first birthing pain, like a woman in labor. It starts out slower, and then the labor pains intensify each time. And then they, slide back a little bit, but then they intensify. So at that point, I think they'll lock everybody down at the first wave. And I think they've got a lot of plans that I've already talked about. I think they'll break out their millimeter bowls, and they'll try to, I don't know how that would work. I need to try to do some more studying on that, how this millimeter wave would be affected by water, in massive amounts of water. But if Mr. T, not Mr. Drump, Mr. Warp Speed, but the stuff Uncle Trump was messing with, right? John, right? Trump was messing with. That's open now. People, I don't think that's actually open now on the internet. It's hard to believe I can even say that, but that tech that he was messing with, the same thing that Mr. T was messing with. He said that thing could protect a city from a military. Why wouldn't it protect a city from water, from a flood? So I think they're going to use this tech for this time, guys. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I don't know if it'll work, but in my ideas, I think it will. So maybe that's why they don't care about a lot of people out in the country there, and they don't want anything to do with it, because they'll have their ability to. No, I can't post it on this channel. I put it up on screen and showed it, and that's what got all my live streams. The channel traffic just came to a screeching halt. Real quick, though, we've entered this 12,000 year extinction event. We're right there at the bottom. Right there at the bottom. Okay, this is you won't find this very many places of this image, though. This is, each one of these is a slice of celestial time. Like back here is at the time of the Noah event, 6,000 years ago. Okay. And now we're down here. And each one of these events are an extinction event, a cataclysmic, or an earth. Here, let's see. I'll show you what it says. You read it for yourself. Potentially civilization-ending cataclysmic events of the last 150,000 years, or previous great year, right? Cycles. So, what I'm showing you is that we have entered the sixth extinction event down here. None of these events do not happen not on the line. Never do they not happen on the line. They always happen on the line. It's like a clock. Ding! Boom, there it is. Oop, there it is. So 4 years ago, we hit that line. And we entered the world's sixth extinction event, the 12,000-year cycle. So we're 4 years already into this extinction event. And everything that's on this earth right now, bees and carrots and cucumbers and crickets and June bugs and zebras and lions and tigers and bears, oh my, are still here, including us human beings that made it through the last 5. So extinction is not what people think. Species don't die off, they die down. And that makes others evolve. This is where evolution comes from. I'm sure if you've a little bit studied, you've heard this term, not like man evolving from apes, you know. If man evolved from apes, why are there still apes? Get out of here with that nonsense. But Big Bang, all that. And you guys, brothers, sisters, I hope you see what I'm saying. This is very powerful information. I'm telling you where you're at on this celestial. You are here. You are here. Everybody have you show you on a map? I'm showing you where you're on the celestial wheel of time. So you're down here, and we've hit this line back on 1220. See, this is when we came out of the age of Pisces and came into the age of Aquarius. So they know about this, guys. This is not something they haven't known about since before hundreds and thousands of years, if you think about this. They've been waiting for this event for thousands of years. The reset, the Great Conjunction. Remember? I already showed you. When Saturn conjuncted, there would be signs in the stars, signs, stop sign, street sign, in the sun and in the moon. When Jupiter conjuncted Saturn on 12/21/2020, the year of the bug, the great crown, the declaring of the coming of the king, hallelujah. Kronos, Saturn, time conjuncted with Melchizedek, Christ the lion from the tribe of Judah, right? Conjuncted, and we left the age of Pisces and moved into the age of Aquarius. Welcome to what the world doesn't know. Yes, 99% of the world does not know we've entered into a brand new celestial age, brothers and sisters. But let me show you too what I'm talking about. You ever notice these extinction things, like all these whales beaching themselves? What do you think's causing that? Can you name any animals other than whales that use the magnetics of our Earth to travel or migrate? Bees, birds. There's a lot of different animals that use the magnetics of our Earth, huh? Remember, a magnetic shield has been depleting, shifting. We're in the middle of magnetic excursion since 1859. So they fly. Oh, why are these whales going right up into the beach and they keep going in that direction? It doesn't matter if we turn around, because their magnetics are telling them to go that way. The magnetics is shift. They think they're going through this channel that they've migrated for hundreds of thousands of years, and all of a sudden we have a ship. They're just going right. They don't see like that. Does it explain your all these die-offs, guys, these fish die-offs, all this? There's nothing wrong with them. They're not starving. They're not birds, sonar, they fly, all this crap we're putting in the air, all this military, all this stuff we're using, energy waves, all these microwaves, radio waves, birds just falling out of this. Gee, I wonder, you know, some of it's the sun as well, guys. The magnetics of our sun is changing again. The energy of our sun is changing. So, oh, that's Bobo. Remember I showed you I have a picture of him. How cool. That's the other dog in reincarnation of him, the other dog. That's Pants. That's the old puppy that I was telling you. Remember I was telling you about my old puppy? There he is. That's his brother. And he weighed, they almost weighed, there was about a pound apart. But that's him. So I told you, he reincarnated. He looks a lot like that other dog. It's pretty crazy how similar his markings are. Even on his back, this dog had a little spot, a white spot that we called comet icing. Louise told me he has comet icing on his butt. This dog had this spot, a little white spot on his butt in the black. This dog has the same exact spot and the same exact black. It's incredible. Some of this stuff was so crazy, but I wanted to show you a picture of, I didn't even realize I had that on here. But he still even has the same eyes. He didn't lose his eyes. So somehow he's reincarnated back in that dog. I know it sounded kind of crazy when I said it earlier, but pretty amazing. There's a picture of him. But, okay, let me show you this. So, and then I'll show you what's going to cause it. Isn't that pretty incredible? It's pretty, I mean, some of the similarities are just so far, it's just too close. Too many things. So, okay, I'll play this thing that's got me shadow banned because I don't care. They can't. Here's the overlay of the. This is what this government knows, and this is the event in my eyes they're planning for this year. This year. I believe this will happen or before 5/25. 400 feet. And I'm going to show you where. 400 feet on a regular. So they have come up before. It's going to be left. And they're covering cities right now. Under the water. Banned right there. That's what got me banned right there. Not that. Not that. Not that. 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 They don't want you to know. They don't care if you know that. They don't want you. They don't want you to know that. This is what they know, guys. This is what they know. See all that red land? I'm the only person right now on the internet that's put this information out. Right here. All glory to the Father. Thank you, Father, for getting me absolutely shadow banned, and I can't make a dime because of this video. Look at that edge right there. Look at all that perfect lineup. Look at that. You can't tell me that they don't know. Look at down here. Scale, but pretty close to what the land is because there are two different maps. Look at right. Which you can see. Look at down in here. Look at all this detail. All the rest of this ocean out here, gone. Or see all this over here on the East Coast. So they don't have any land taken over. Red is federal land. They don't have any interest over there. Why? That's where they're putting most of those migrants sitting there when that first wave of water washes up. Edge up towards the top. And we have a complete tidal shift on this earth. That is something you're not going to find anywhere else. I'm the only one putting this out, brothers and sisters. He's told me to do this. No matter the suffering that I go through, I have to do this, guys. We're getting ready for. We get what's left on that with the white. Okay, this is a mean map that I've made. There's a program that I'll be able to take the cycles of every time the waters come up and down off the land. It raises between 100 to 400 feet. There are cities sitting off our coastlines right now. You can go scuba diving and visit and take scuba diving trips. Okay, and you can get, you know what I'm saying? You can get down and see these cities and all their it's because the last time this happened, brothers and sisters, water came up. So we're in the up cycle now. So it's not going to come up higher and stay up higher, but it's going to come, again, as you see, up on to the land. And come all the way up potentially to the Colorado Rockies. So you see what I'm revealing to you. That's actually two different scales. I was really trying to get that other map to get the scale on it, but I was having difficulty, so I had to use what I got. But that's so close that I don't think I need to convince you anymore. You can make and use your own discernment. Look at that line on the edge of the Rockies. But so what I've done is this is a program where the average is taking the mean. It's come up less before, but it's come up more. This is the average. You understand? The average. So it has washed up even further before, and it's come in less. In this cycle, I believe it'll come up onto the land in waves, like I said, like this. And that's why I think they have these migrants right in that heavy areas over there where this water's going to, and they're going to use this somehow. They're going to use these migrants, guys. I don't know what they're going to do here, but I'm going to show you why I believe and what is going to cause this water to come up. It didn't come up the last time it was in this cycle that I'm about to show you over 2,600 years ago. So keep that in mind, but our magnetosphere wasn't weakened by 25%, okay? So the alignment that I'm going to show you is what I believe that's going to cause this water shift to actually start. We'll get notified by, it won't be just America. It'll be the whole world, every continent, the water will start shifting. There's something that's going to cause a tidal shift. This is biblical. The seas, the nations will be in perplexity, for the seas and the waves will be roaring. This is part of this cycle that the Most High obviously saved for this event. Or I don't know. You know, I don't know, but I'm going to show you the evidence, what I do know, and you can discern this for yourself. Be not dismayed at the ways of the signs of the heavens, for the heathens are dismayed at them. Don't be a heathen. Don't be a pagan. Don't be dismayed on what I'm about to show you, but I believe this is what will cause this magnetic pinch. So this is 10-24-24. This celestial alignment was the same alignment that we were back in 79 AD, right at the time of Christ. He predicted this. This happened at the time of Christ, brothers and sisters. I keep talking about this because this is what happened. He predicted 3 years later, and the temple was destroyed. Here we are back in the same Nebuchadnezzar plowed salt into the land so no crops could grow there. Brothers and sisters, you hearing the similar tone, hados, in that same narrow way? So this isn't a prediction as far as this. I believe this is what will trigger magnetically, because if you keep that 4 gas giants, keep those 4 gas giants, there was Earth right there in the middle, guys, pinned in between all this magnetism. So keep this square in mind, and I'm going to show you. I've worked hard at this, guys, for 30 plus years to bring this information. There's that square. It has a looping magnetic fields that come out. So that's be like we're stuck right there. You think this Earth is going to take this lightly? I believe that this is what's going to cause this shift in our tides, brothers and sisters. Because let me show you something about magnetism. Okay, I want to show you something about, well, this was the time of Christ. I mean, this is the same alignment. So I feel it's in the hados. It's in the same, look, these are 2 magnetic fields. This is like us being pinched in between those 2 gas giants. Those are the 4 large gas Jovian stars. The 4 large gas giants. They're not rocky bodies, brothers and sisters. They're gas giants, and they put out an interlooping magnetic field. So I've showed you magnetism. Do you understand? You see that black spot in the middle? There's no magnetism right there, guys. It cancels itself out. Let me show you. This is called the block domain wall. See that? You see that mark right in the middle? There's no magnetism in that line. It doesn't exist. And we're going to get pinned right in the middle between those 2 gas giants with the 2 Neptune and Uranus behind them. Yeah, that'd be like Earth being right here. So I'm trying to show you as a reconstructionist, I'm trying to show you as a prior police officer, this is how I would submit my case to a judge. Now, I'm not talking, but I'm giving you evidence. You choose to do your own investigation with what I've shown you. But I've shown you what magnetism looks like. I've shown you the alignment. I showed you that this is exactly what we were aligned before. Now, if you'll study the year 79 AD, you'll see that the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. Nebuchadnezzar plowed salt into the land. This is the time at 79 AD, Pompeii was covered in ashes. Mount Vesuvius went off. This earth was blowing, itself from the bottom. It was in a semi-extinction event. If you research the year 79 AD, okay, this earth goes in a massive upheaval, okay, and our magnetic strength at that time was 100%. Now, we've never had more than 2 low-to-latitude auroral events in recorded history, ever. I warned you in 2022, 2021, 2020. If you followed me many years ago, I talked about the reset and talked about the year of everything you'd see in the sky. That would be the year 2023. And in February, they brought you Chinese balloons. Oh, look. Right? Yeah, but that was the year that we shattered the low latitude auroral record by not 3, we didn't have 3, we didn't have 4, but 5 low latitude aurora events. That's crazy, Michelle. That's insane. That is when we get bombarded by protons, guys. Sure, we have auroras on the top by the North Pole, but when they get down into Texas, Ukraine, we had 5 events, and we didn't even, it normally takes massive X-class flares directly hitting our Earth to cause that magnetism to creep, that penetration, the protection of that shield that I was showing you, the penetration of our magnetic shield. See if we got an image of that. Of our magnetic field, it's of our Earth. It's pretty to look at, but it's not good. That's telling us that the protons are able to escape the protection back. So we normally have X-class flares to make that. We didn't even have X-class flares last year. We had low energy. It normally takes massive amounts of energy to do this. And we had low energy, and we had it 5 times. So in my opinion, every country should be standing down right now. I mean, this is an event that it will affect the whole Earth. I don't care what people think about this. They're just not studied. The information's not out. We shattered the record with low energy. If we get hit by a large solar class sphere, you guys, there's no more internet. At least in America, we have not hardened our grid. We send billions of dollars, hundreds of billion dollars where we could have this year, but we didn't. They don't obviously want it to. So this is something that I believe that will, if we get hit by anything that's close to an X-class flare, and we have one that's lining up with us right now. bam, it's over. It's over. This whole world as we know it, we're going back to the Stone Age, but we'll be high-tech. Some of us, high-tech rednecks. So I'm telling you, no, all the satellites will be gone. All the satellites will fall to Earth. It'll look like freaking Armageddon out there. All that stuff's going to drop to the Earth. So, brothers and sisters, be not dismayed. I'm not trying to cause anybody to be dismayed, but I believe that we are in this biblical event. And we can't stop none of this. This is God doing this. This is with them, with their machines. Now, I'm very concerned. They just turned on that CERN machine again, guys. If you watch that machine, I've been watching it for, I don't know how many TeV, tera electron volts. We have this energy crisis going on right now, and they're cranking up this machine that takes tera electron volts. Do you realize how much power that takes to generate? What I'm concerned, I don't care about their stupid portals and none of that stuff. I mean, thank you for your, but my concern is the fact that they can warp our magnetosphere with that. Our magnetosphere does this when that thing gets turned on. It starts collapsing and folding in on itself, guys. Let me see if I can find an image of that. Wait a second. Let's go to screenshots. Maybe we have this on this other phone here. Where's my other phone? Oh, where'd it go? I'm working off a few phones here. Sometimes I store this stuff and research it, guys. I said I got a lot of years in this, decades in some of this research, guys. I'm not kidding. It's taken me, I mean, it's not like it's that complex, but it's taken me a lot of years to put this information together on some of this stuff that I'm handing you here and showing you. Oh, I don't think it's in this. Ooh, it's not, huh? But actually, ooh, I wonder if I have this one in here. I've been trying to get this. Ooh, is it in here? Oh, please be in here. Please be in here. Please be in here. Come on, big bucks, no whammy. Stop. Ooh, there it is. Ooh, there it is. Shaka laka shaka. Ooh, yep, here we go. Here are the two celestial alignments side by side, brothers and sisters. There is 79 AD and there is 102424. There they are. So I'm not making this up. This is what it looked like 2,600 plus years ago. This is where we're going back into this star alignment. So there's 79 AD and 102424 sitting right next to each other. Now back to the payphones, baby. Back to the So, yep, there you go. There's 7980. Finally, I've been trying to get into this alignment, guys, forever. Cool. So, see if I can find this. Oh, this is going to piss them off if I find this, guys. They don't want me to. I've had this taken out of my phone so many times. Come on, be there, be there, be there, be there. Oh, it's getting slim pickings. Uh-oh. Let me check and see if maybe it's on the... Are you on the download? Are you on the download? Oh, here, hey. This is the most beautiful sign that I've ever been a witness to. The Revelation 12 sign, brothers and sisters. 923. This, oh my, hallelujah, Father. Oh, what a blessing it was to be a witness to this celestial marker. Oh my goodness. Oh, I just cannot, I'm never going to forget this, guys. I'm going to take this with me eternally. But this is the marker that I have on my body that I don't believe any other man on this earth has taken the time to actually tattoo this on their body. So, the great sign of the heavens of the Virgin, clothed with the sun, the moon at her feet, she be travailing in birth, and she will have a crown of 12 stars upon her head. Boom, shakalaka. Revelation 12, the apocalypse. Ooh, what did it just do there? Oh man, this is some old stuff here. I hadn't seen this forever. Oh, puppies. Oh, guys, I don't want to show you puppies. They'll start melting your heart. Some of the puppies that I bred out here. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. They're so cute. What's it doing here? I'm still looking for that atmosphere. Oh. What in the world was that? Man, I've been hearing the craziest noise out here, guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. There we go. So they can warp that, brothers and sisters. That'd be the sun. And they can warp that magnetosphere with the CERN machine that they have. It's incredible. I wish I had some more images of this. There it is. The great Revelation 12 sign, the Virgin clothed with the sun. Whoa, come on, phone. Clothed with the sun, the moon at her feet, and she will have a crown of 12 stars upon her head. That is my Revelation 12 sign tattoo. Yeah, there's been some crazy stuff going on here the last couple of days. I don't pay attention and it don't bother me. Venus, Mercury, and Mars, 3 wandering stars, line up below the king, the lion from the tribe of Judah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah till Shiloh returns. And there are those 3 wandering stars. Yes. And the Virgin clothed with the sun. You can't see the moon, but she's clothed with the sun. So he'll know that when I return that I was paying attention. I was watching. I wasn't falling asleep. He said, oh, you guys have never seen, I don't think I've ever lifted up. I have the blood moons too, guys. I have a lot of tattoos I don't always show, but I have the tetrad blood moons. That's the start of all this stuff, guys. And the super moon. Spent a lot. I appreciate it. All glory to the Father. There's the Saturn and the great millstone. And actually, look, my arm don't even look like that anymore because I had more work done to my ditch. This is called your ditch. Right down right here, one of the hardest spots to get tattooed. So, but whatever. I like the pain. Pleasure's worse than the pain. Oh, I don't really show this side of my arm very much either, guys. This has, oh, interesting. This has, I don't know of anybody other person on this earth that has, here, let's start with this. Can you imagine when I went to my tattoo artist and said, hey, I want a chemtrail tattoo. He said, a chem what? I was here, take this image and tattoo this on my arm. So yeah, I've got a chemtrailer, guys. I'm one of the few people that have. But you guys, another thing that I do have here, which I think is very important because people don't talk about this, is I have a day moon, and that's a sun dog. Remember the sun dog? If you look up in the side, you see that ring. It's not a rainbow because it's not the colors. It's actually red, yellow, and white, and it has that. Why does it look like that? I don't know. That's kind of weird color. But anyways, that's a sun dog. Why does it look like that? I don't know why it keeps doing that. My camera keeps. It's not showing it. It doesn't look like that. It's why is it casting that shadow? I don't see that shadow on my phone. Weird. But that's the ring that I keep telling you about, the eclipse up there. That's how an eclipse rings out. The marriage between two celestial bodies forming a union, one, and then on one side it rings out. See that? It rings out on this side. Get it? The ring? It rings out. It rings out. Yeah, that's that right there on my arm. But how it should be, not tilted to a 45 like that was the red dragon eclipse. The great red dragon. Oh, wait, I bet you I have that. There it is. There's the diagonal eclipse. I believe I'm the only man on the earth that has this diagonal eclipse tattoo of the 2017 red dragon eclipse on my arm. There's the red dragon. The great red dragon that sits right below that, right below there. The red dragon eclipse. The great red dragon eclipse is what that was called. Whoa, what did that happen there? So another thing I think that's very important is that, you see that day moon? You see that day moon? You see that's out in a blue sky. That's not a night sky like the other side of my arm. That's the day. I have the night on the front side and the day on the back side of my arm. So a day moon, guys. What is up with this day moon? I want to talk about that real quick. I'm 50 years old, and the day moon used to only come out maybe one time in a month, and sometimes I go 6 months and never. I've gone a whole year and never seen the day moon. If you're old like me, you remember the day moon was not a thing actually until about 5 or 6 years ago, where I started noticing out on a regular basis. And so this is very important to me because I've been watching the moon as well as the sun. I don't just watch just the sun. I watch all the stars that I can. That's why I live where I live. If I wish I could take you outside and show you how beautiful the stars out here. There's billions and billions and billions of stars. I live on one of the best places on the planet to see the stars. This place has been put, it's the top 3 places to see the stars. It's been in magazines and stuff. It has an amazing view of the stars. But this day moon that I speak of, I don't know why it's glaring like that. Actually, it doesn't even look like that either. That's not a very good picture of it. But either way, there. You remember I told you that here's this. There's Henry. There's Henry. One of the sheepies out here. You saw a UFO. You saw a UFO where? Where'd you see a UFO? I'll see no UFOs. Where you see a UFO? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, yeah. Got one of those, too. So, all right. But this day moon, guys, it was not a thing. I'm telling you, until about 5 or 6 years ago. And then all of a sudden, the day moon started showing up every single day. And now I've seen the moon where if the sun is sitting on this side, it's not casting the light. The light will be on the other side, proving that the moon. Sorry, what you talking about, Willie? So, somebody knew what I was talking about. But I'll see the shadow, right? The light. It's supposed to, if the sun's shining from here, the moon light's supposed to be right here, right? I've seen the light of the moon be on the opposite side of the sun. And I'm not only one to document this because I watch the sun and the moon all the time. I've seen the moon. I've seen the moon and the sun this close together in the sky. I could go like this with my pinky. And the shadow was not shining on this side of the sun. It was on the opposite side. The light, the lit part. And I could take my hand like that and put it up in the sky. So, yeah. The UFO is just to expose their tech, guys. It's all just a tech thing. I've had this understanding for quite some time. Oh, remember I was telling you about his dad? You want to see Pants's dad? This is Pants's dad. Remember I told you a bicolor Aussie with a bicolored eye, with a bicolored eye. Bottom, it was like really like looked like Rocky Mountain, blue Rocky Mountain on the bottom of his eye, on that eye. And then the blue eye on the other eye. He's a very rare dog. Very, very rare. You see, he has the brown. He's not black. He's brown and white. An extremely hard dog to find. And he is making champion dogs right now as we speak. You know, he's still, but that's his daddy. That's his daddy. You can see where he gets his coat. Let's see, I wonder if I got a picture of Mama in here. Yeah, no, I'll tell you guys, this not only the stars out here, you guys, the sunsets out here. I've never seen sets anything like this anywhere, and I've been in all 50 states. You guys, I'm telling you, this night at this sunset, I swear the sky was on fire. Gosh, this isn't doing this picture any justice. I really wish you guys could see this on my website or on my actually I have this on my channel. It is just absolutely brilliant. It looked like the sky was literally on fire. This isn't doing it. Why isn't it? That's what I'm trying to show you. Maybe this will start showing up a little better. See what I'm saying? Oh yeah, now it's starting to show. It looked like literally like the sky was catching on fire. I mean, it was so incredible. It was like, wow. It was like, whoa. The sunsets out here, guys, are so. I mean, this side looked like it was completely like just. It's not showing up on this very well. But I've never seen the sky like this anywhere in my life. I mean, we literally get like. Look at that. And this picture isn't doing it very, this doesn't even, there's so much more detail on the, if I actually showed you and I zoomed in, just incredible. I've never seen the sky turn the colors that it turns out here. And sometimes the whole sky lights up, guys. I mean, the whole sky from one side of the sky to the other. All around. We get a full 360 sunset, a full 360. Pinks and purples and peaches. Yeah, this isn't even hardly doing this any justice. I don't know why here, but it's just incredible. I've never seen the sunsets anything like this. Completely all these pinks and just like I said, sometimes it just does. I couldn't, yeah. And they're always better in person. Here is the cover photo for this channel. If you guys, here's the cover photo for this channel right there. You want to know where this cover photo comes from? There it is. That's your predestined for light cover photo. And this isn't doing this any justice either. Like these purples. Look at that. Look at that. It is so insane. Dark blue to dark purple to white. Look at that. I mean, it was like, oh, it melts your mind. So then look at this. Look how beautiful this was. It is. When in person, these pictures don't even do it any justice. Trust me. This stuff out here, like I said, sometimes, guys, it's just melt your mind. Like I saw an eye in the sky. That's not showing it, but there was an eye up there. Like crazy looking. Just nothing like you've ever seen. I've like I said, I've been to all 50 states, guys. I've never seen the sunsets do what they do out here. It's just incredible. I mean, it's just, I've never, yeah, it's breathtaking. There's Mr. Pants right there. His big old self. Big puppy dog. So you see, and remember when he has his ears down and he was on the couch earlier and he keeps his ears back? That's why he keeps his ears back, guys. He likes this. It just for some reason, he likes to have his ears tucked like that. He'll put them up. Yeah, I've got some pictures of some sunsets, and I don't even, like I said, I don't even hardly take like a stinking painting in the sky. Look at that. Like a painting. Look at this. I mean, it looks like it's literally painted onto the sky. Yeah, see, this color is not, it's actually much brighter than that. But that actually looks like it's just literally like somebody took paint and just went splashed it on the sky, man. I was like, holy, whoa. You know, it was just. It was just incredible. This picture doesn't even, like I said, it's not doing it any justice. It's just, yeah. And night after night, sometimes it's just night after night after night, you know. Oh, look at this. Look at this slew of animals. We got puppies. We got kittens. We got sheep. We're in all kinds of animals in this. They all kind of like to hang out together. What do you think? Silly animals. See if we can find one more good sunset out here. Oh my goodness. Puppy pictures. Uh-oh, don't start showing puppy pictures. I'll be here all night. Oh my goodness. These puppies. Oh my gosh. Oh, that puppy just turned so incredible. And the picture of this dog. Oh my goodness. This dog turned out so incredible. Just absolutely just, you would not even understand what this dog looks like if I showed you a picture. I'd have to find the email. But that dog turned out not, it didn't look anything like that when he was over. I mean, he did, but yeah. Little cutie. as a little girl. She was a darling. All these puppies, I go through all these pictures. They are all just absolutely gorgeous. Here's a different one. This is a really cute little boy. He turned out all speckly. Everywhere he was white, he got spots. Like on his feet. They just all turned in real, it's called marrow. He marrowed out. Where'd that other guy go? I was trying to find a picture. I had a picture of Yatter Boy. Yatter Boy. Oh, that one had... Oh, look at the color of this dog's eyes. I've bred dogs before. I've never seen their eyes turn. It's like, oh, come on. Light is not going to show it to you. They're like I can't explain it to you. I wish this isn't doing it any justice. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit closer. They're like a emerald green. Just never seen anything like, never seen a dog's eyes turn out that color. It's the only dog I ever had with that eyes turned out that color. Hey, there's Mr. Pants. Mr. Yatter Boy. This is Yatter when he was a puppy. Yes, Mr. Pants. I thought we had some better pictures of you, boy. Where's that other picture of you, puppy dog? What are you doing? Huh? Oh, there's my biggest dog. Oh. I'm such a handsome guy. Look at my big guy. Look at my biggest puppy dog standing up there for the dad up on the blocks. Yeah, he's quite the talker. This is my big guy here. This is biggest Tango. He just hanging with his dad there. Pretty funny. He's a pretty cool puppy. Loves hanging with the dad. I guess I was actually trying to find, I had this picture of him when where'd it go? There he is. There's Mr. Pants. He was a cute little puppy. Had the cutest little face. That's him with Pepper. That's his sister Pepper sleeping on him. And she went to, she's in a farm down south. And she gets to live in the woods. She lives up in the woods and she loves being in the woods. But that's his sister. She was a sweetheart. She's a good dog. Cool. I'm glad I found that. I didn't think I had that one. Oh, no way. I have a picture of myself with no facial hair. There's only been like 2 times in my entire life that I've ever shaved my facial hair. I can shave off a couple years. You want to see? what I look like with no facial hair. And boy, I'm going to shave my mustache off. Wow. I can lose a few years. This is like just not, about a year ago. So I could still pull off maybe 40. Somebody say 30 something. Yeah, that's me. Still pretty young looking when I shave off all that facial hair. So there's a baby face hiding under there. Yeah. No, that's like last year. I've been growing that out for, God, that's less than a year. No, that's way less than a year. Or about a year ago, I think, something like that. But I told people I can shave a couple years off, right? So you see what I'm saying? Right? That could look, you still pull off young, right? Not young, but it's a little different, right? Huh? So normally I've never shaved my mustache off or my goatee. I always at least keep my mustache or my goatee. But I decided I was just going to shave my whole face. And that's so weird to see myself with no. How old would you say I look in that picture? Because I'm like 50 years old. So I hope I don't look 50 with the. So, but I'm going to keep the facial hair. And it'll keep the. Gosh, that has been. Yeah, there's only 2 times in my life I've ever shaved off all my facial hair. 30. Wow. Holy crap. I didn't think I looked 30. I thought maybe mid 30s, late 30s, but not 30. Wow. Wow. That's pretty nice of you. That's awful sweet of you, Michelle. But no, I'm an old man. I was 49 years old in that picture, guys. 49 years old. I don't know. It was just like a weird. I can't remember why I shaved my face. Only did it a couple times in my life I've ever shaved off all my facial hair, but I can't remember what it was. I think I needed some change in my life. You know what I'm saying? I just needed some. I'm 50. That was last year. So that was just last year. Like, what? Yeah, that was me last year. But it's if I shave off the beard. So obviously the beard put on about 20 years from Michelle's point of view. So, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. I don't mind being old, guys. It's all right to be old. But like I said, again, earlier, I don't do it very often, but I flip my shirt up and showed people, yeah, I'm 50 years old and I have a 6-pack. So I take good care of my body, and it's in the middle of winter. So yeah, whatever, I take care of myself. But if I shave off all my mustache and I walk around, or shave my facial hair and I walk around in the summertime, I don't look like I'm 50 years old, obviously. If I'm in shape, I have 0 body fat. So yeah, I don't have any. Well, it's very, very low body fat. But it's wintertime, so I'm feeling a little chunky right now, but that's okay. I still pull off the old in shape. I don't let myself get out of shape. So I want to be optimal right now, guys. I want my body to be in shape because I could have to go at any second, be on my feet for days or weeks or months. And I want to be ready for that. So I want to be able to be mobile. Okay. I don't want to fight with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to fight with anybody. I want to be passive. And I've done all the fighting I want to do. I mean, if you make me defend myself, that's one thing, but I think I can be much more wise than that by getting away from people and not participating in any of this nonsense. It's just, it's pointless to fight with people right now when you could get away from it and be wise and gentle. So this is a good time, if you ask me. Position yourself away from people where you're not fighting anybody for anything, if you can, if you have that ability. And that's a much better way than trying to fight people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I chose for 10 years ago to move away from society, because I was done more than 10 years ago. But I mean, I was done doing the whole, I wanted to start living a cost-free lifestyle, or actually could build this community that I've been trying to build for a long time, but get to where I don't have any costs. I knew I could pay my land off and I could build everything from scratch. And I wouldn't have the costs like most people have. And I could have a place where I owned everything on that land. Nice. Yeah, I wish I lived further in the woods myself, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there because the woods are right behind everything. They're behind me, so yeah, I'm not there yet, Michelle. Like I said, I'm trying to get there. I bought more land. So I would have paid off this 20 acres if I didn't buy the 20 acres next to me that came up for sale, because I didn't want a neighbor. So I bought the 20 next to me. I had to buy it all outright cash from the real estate company. So didn't have any wiggle room or not. I had to pay them what they wanted for it so I could get it. And actually, even before I paid the thing off, there was people offering them more money than I had paid, and actually trying to get a hold of me, trying to buy it from me before I paid the whole thing. I only paid just a good chunk down on the front side, and then one balloon payment at the end, which I paid it off all in one sum at the end. But that took all my money that I was saving to pay this property off and bought that one. So instead of having a 20-acre parcel, I've got a 40-acre parcel here, which is nice. I've got a lot of room, and but I bought another 5 to build the UFO. I bought that in 2019, so I've almost got that thing paid off this year. That'll be nice to own that 5 acres, and then I'll only have the 2 land payments of the remaining, because I bought another 20 up the road from here as an investment property that I'd eventually like to put some duplexes or fourplexes, or maybe 4 more cabins on there. And these are things that I can share with other people. So but one day I hope to have a nice 2-3 acre parcel. Even 1 acre would be fine in the woods for me. If I'm in the woods, I got all the woods around me, so I don't need to, and where I'd be moving, I don't think I'd have a neighbor for anywhere where I'm trying to move up here behind me. I got to look and see where I can find eventually. So someday though, I hope to have all of this paid off. You know what I mean? And it's not like that I have these, whatever. I think I can accomplish from it with good investments. I have some shares in a mining company that I bought with my stimulus check. I'm like, oh, let's buy something that'll piss off the government. Let's buy a silver mining company. No, you were supposed to spend it on Chinese crap, right? No, I'm not going to do that. So I bought some shares in a mining company. So maybe someday, because the mining companies, it did pretty well in a couple of years. They didn't pull any profits, because I want to long hold it and see it turn a life-changing profit, or I'll just disappear, go away. I don't know. Maybe I keep telling my son, if I go away or something, remember they've got these mining shares, so maybe someday those will help me to get this land paid off as well too. So I've got a lot invested, but I still got payments just like anybody else. So 45 acres I still pay on, but I've got 5 cabins that I'm working on out here. I have a 50-foot underground storm shelter that I built by myself. That would probably cost $150,000 to build. And I've been able to manage, I don't know how, by the grace of God. That's it. I could have never done it by myself, but he kept me digging for 4+ years until I remembered, no, I had a wife. And then I slowed down. It's crazy. I didn't even think about that for 4 years. But in the 4th year, I remembered that, wait, there was 7 other people. Darn it, I'm doing this by myself. And got to me, and I slowed down that last half a year. But I got it done, and that is a very sense of accomplishment, having a way to get away from this weather and the sun, not trying to escape my death, but it's there in case we get some inclement weather. It's pretty neat that the woods did catch on fire over here behind me. They were lighting stuff on fire, but I told the fire marshal out here, I'm not leaving this property. Nobody better come on this property I'm not evacuating. I'm not going nowhere. And you're not going to make me leave. And I don't care what these evacuation orders say. If we go red here, I'm not leaving. I have a way to get away from this fire. I have a fire shelter. I know what you got, Tracy. Not too many people do, but I know what you got. Okay. I won't send nobody down your driveway. So it's already paid off once, because I wouldn't have left. I'd have been one of the only people in this town. And I wouldn't have left this property, because I'm not going to let somebody come on my property like Hurricane Katrina and all these events where something happens and they shut it down, and then everybody goes in behind in these neighborhoods and clears out a bunch of stuff. So already it's been worth its weight in gold. You know what I mean? Saying, so it doubles as not only as a fire shelter. And you know what? That really gave me the idea, guys, that I can move into the woods, because I bought this property off the edge of the wood line. I've seen all the woods catch on fire everywhere. Canada, hello, Texas, what they're doing now, the woods have been on fire. It used to be fire, season. Now it's almost year-round fires. It's gotten quite out of hand. So I feel no more comfort than anywhere on this earth than when I'm in the woods. But it feels really dangerous to be in the woods right now with all the fires. But that gave me the idea after that. I said, man, I'm just gonna build a shelter. And everything on top of me can catch on fire, and it doesn't matter. Let it burn. If God forbid that happens, if I'm under the ground, I'm going to be okay. So I could be smack in the middle of the woods anywhere. So Michelle, if you do not have a shelter and you live in the thick of the woods, I would encourage you to find yourself just a fire shelter. Build a fire shelter, 5x5 room. Down in the ground would work. Fire blows over, So that's what I'm thinking of doing myself personally, is trying to find a place in the woods. And so what if the fire burns over the top of you? You're down under the ground, 4 or 5 feet of dirt on you. You're not going to burn down there. And if you have some ventilation, the fire is not going to heat that with 5-6 feet on that's not going to heat up 6 feet of dirt. So you'll be safe from fire in the woods under the ground. It's like, why didn't I think of that before? So, but whatever, we live in and we learn, right? So now I can take all my skill set and bring it to the woods. So eventually I'm going to take and try to drag, half this stuff I got. And I'm even considering selling 20 acres out here. If I can find somebody that was a good neighbor, that I felt that could live here and not impede on what I'm doing, kind of do a similar thing, or wants to live the same, lifestyle I live, where they assert their rights and they don't let people tell them what to do like that. I would probably even consider selling this 20 acres that I have to somebody and trying to buy another parcel up in the woods so that I can have a way to drag half this stuff up into the woods, so that I don't have all my eggs in one basket right now, because I'm sitting, with kind of all my preps in one area. I don't have I've got 5-gallon buckets in multiple states. So I've got caches in multiple states of where I know I can go here. If I had to leave out of the state with nothing, I could go to a certain location and there's a bucket there waiting for me in the ground. So, not like I don't have caches, but I need to take half of what I've got and move it into the woods and bury it in the ground in a shelter, so that I have a place away from people. So if things really break down, I'm leaving here. I ain't staying here. I want to go further away from people, not that far away. I can be 30 minutes from here, be thick into the woods. You know, I live right on the edge of the tree line. So that's my hopes for me, you know, to push this into, to try not to fight anybody. I don't want to fight anybody for anything. It's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. So God is calling me to take this property and get it settled and try to find somewhere a little bit further away from people. I was already there before, but whatever. I'm here where I'm at now. And actually, I don't want to leave this valley. I want to stay right where I'm at. So I just think if I find if I can find a 1 acre parcel in the woods, I'm fine with it. You know, I'm going to just concentrate on digging that shelter. That's it. And hang out in the woods. What's up? I'm in the woods, baby. I love being in the woods, guys. I love being in the woods. So, yeah. But anyways, room to breathe out here. Plenty of room to grow. I mean, like I said, so this is my ideal situation at this point because I'm not going anywhere. And again, obviously, I believe that when this thing breaks down, they're going to lock everybody in the cities and you ain't going to get out of the cities. And I don't think that 99% of the people will be able to get out of the cities when this happens. So I don't think all those people will be coming that people think. I don't think that's how it's going to go down. I think if you watch too much television, and I don't think you'll get out of the city. I think they'll slam the city shut tight like a drum and you will never leave the city. Hotel California, you can check in, but you can never leave. So I get out of the cities now if I was you. I don't think the cities are a safe place to live. There's way too many people. They're flooding all the cities with these newcomers, migrants, immigrants, illegal aliens. The great alien invasion is happening. So I think further in the woods would be, yeah, that's insane. Yeah, something, obviously this April 8th is, I don't know exactly what it's going to, yeah, I don't think you're going to get out. I don't think you're going to get out of the cities. If you do, you're going to have to take a lot of lives to get out. You're going to have to unalive a lot of people just to get out of there. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough next couple or few years, guys. This is not going to, oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I remember that one. So, but that's how I envision this, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think this is going to go down. I think one day it's going to flip like a switch, just like that. And you're not going to be able to leave the city anymore. Because I think they're going to get ready for this celestial event that I'm telling you about. And then I think after this event, whatever happens, then they'll let up. So plan on things progressively being more restrictive, until they literally just shut everything down and restrict all travel. You will not travel. You think the last time there was nothing. There'll literally be people on almost every street corner wearing blue helmets. And then we'll have other countries involved. And they will not be Americans. Nope. No Americans policing this country. Yep. They're already here. They're shipping the troops in already. They've been shipping them in for more than a decade. And if you live in the cities, you should see that they're here already. They're flooding a lot of the major cities, are being overwhelmed right now, inundated. So exactly, they already know who's gonna go along and who's not. So they got a pretty good idea where the population, what they're going to do with it. So, all right, guys, you guys got it. I don't need to sit here and tell you. You guys know where we're headed. I mean, we might not know all the details, but I hope I filled in a few of what I think. You know, I think this celestial event's the big event, you know, the big marker. So I appreciate those that are in the Hados, because I feel awful lonely sometimes thinking I'm one of the few people that, you know, even is doing anything about it. So, Michelle, thank you. First, I know you're trying. I know there's some of you guys are trying to, you're kicking and you're wiggling, and it's, even if they got you flipped over on your back, you're not a turtle. You can get yourself righted. Not every woman you get on her back, you can, so some of them, some ladies got some kick in them, if I'm saying, so they're not a turtle, they don't just give up. So ladies are very strong. Appreciate you ladies with a very strong instinct, because there's been some great women in history, great women in scripture. Ruth, I could go on and on. Some very strong women throughout history. I adore women. I think they're very, well, God created women for man, so why wouldn't I love women? Why wouldn't I have not the take them in an animal way, but they're just very strange beings. They never forget anything. I don't see how somebody can, leak 3 quarts of oil every month and still run. That's pretty incredible. Or probably even more than that, and still stand up and act normal. We'd be crying like babies if we leaked that much blood, brothers and sisters. Or oil, excuse me. But quite incredible. They have a huge amount of pain tolerance. But they're an incredible part of what God has here for us. So, they're a part of this too. Let's not forget that these ladies should have strong men to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you do. You remember what you did 5 years ago, honey? You ain't getting nothing tonight. What? 5 years ago? Okay, honey, I'll go sleep on the couch. No, just kidding. So anyways, much love, guys. I do have, I've been asked before, people have asked me, because I do this quite often. What's your proof of God? What's your proof of God? What's your proof of God? I told somebody one night, I said, my proof of God, have you ever laid your eyes on a woman? Not in that way, to look at her from a man, or the way her body works, the whole function of the body, the birth, the menstrual cycle, the whole estrogen. It's incredible. It's just, whoa, whoa. You can't tell me you don't believe in a God and you see a woman? How could that not be proof of God? Came from the rib of man. There you go. That's my proof. And pineapples and avocados too. So anyways, all right, much love, brothers and sisters. Let me wrap this one up. I appreciate you guys' support here tonight. Hang out again. I wanted to talk about this because these are things that are going on right now in your neighborhoods, in your cities, in your countries. So get your house in order, get your spiritual house in order before everything can be taken from you in a moment's notice. You'll still have your spirit and you'll still have your skill set. Okay? So just keep plugging away, guys, one day at a time. You chip a little bit off, you chip a little bit off, you chip a little bit off, you chip a little off. Next thing you know, a whole big old chunk falls off. Okay? So just stay in that cross. Don't set it down. Do not set it down. Don't set your cross down, please, brothers and sisters. He tells whosoever come after me, let them deny themselves, take up their cross daily and follow after me. So follow after him. Go out there and be hated by the world. Remember, he said, if you're loved by the world, you be hated by my Father. And don't deny him in front of anybody. Do not be afraid to talk about Jesus Christ every single day, anywhere you are. There's no wrong place to talk about Christ. On Christ daily, OCD. You too can be OCD like me. On Christ daily. So we're supposed to be, it's everyday Sabbath. Everyday Sabbath. Make every day the holy day. Remember it and keep it holy every single day. Pick up your cross every single day. Be hated by this world. Remember, it says if you deny me in front of your family and your friends, if you deny me in public, I'll deny you in front of my Father. So don't be afraid to talk about him. People run away from me, but I don't care. Don't stop me from talking about. Not everything's about Jesus, Tracy. Really? Okay. How does that work out? My brain can't compute that, and I'm really good at math. So it's a beautiful walk. It's a long walk. It's a marathon. But remember, he tells us we must endure to the end. Endure doesn't sound like a short little, little jaunt here, a little sprint. That's a long marathon. You know what I'm saying? That's a long marathon. So pace yourself, brothers and sisters. This ain't, the end is nigh, okay? But nobody knows the day or the hour, right? You'll see the day approaching, the Apostle Paul said. So it's in the air, but we got a ways to go. So pace yourself. And when you see that finish line, that's when you got to finish the strongest. So we're pretty close. We're right in that zone, if you ask me. Any day we might have to break out into a sprint. So save your energy, brothers and sisters. Trim your lamps. Trim your lamps. Do you understand, brothers and sisters? Trim them. But be burning bright. And keep putting up that extra oil. Remember, he tells us that the eye is the lamp of the body. Correct? If the eye is filled with light, the whole body is filled with light. If the eye is filled with darkness, the whole body is filled with darkness. And you can't have both in the same vessel. So it's one or the other. So if you're wise and you know what that extra oil is, then keep putting it up. Remember the foolish virgins, brothers and sisters, they were going in the wrong direction when the bride came, correct? To pick up his bridegroom. They were going in the wrong direction. The foolish virgins were told, no, you go buy your own oil. So it's hard, brothers and sisters. I know this time is tough, but there comes a time where we have to trim our lamps back and be ready and take care of ourselves. Tough to do when the thing that gets him more than anything, if he had a tickle spot, with a letter on it or something like that, it would be tithing to another brother and sister, right? That's what really gets, but there is a time and a place for everything. And I use the parable of the wise and foolish virgins to remind myself. I cannot help the whole world. I cannot save every single person. I have to save myself if I'm going to be able to help somebody else. I can not only be the hand that's lifting to be, lifted up, but I could be the hand that reaches out to lift that brother and sister up, because I won't be a burden. I'll be a blessing because I'll have extra oil. I don't know if the Father's going to be pissed off at me or not, because I've got extra oil. He slammed the door shut on the foolish virgins last time, and Murphy's Law kicked them right in the tail, didn't it? Because as soon as the bridegroom came, which way were they headed? The wrong way. They were going to the store to buy the oil. So make sure that your loins, as he said, are girded in his service. Maranatha, until he returns. That's what he says. I want to find lamps trimmed back. I want to find you burning bright and your loins girded in my service until I return. So don't be one of these people, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Act like he's coming back every single day, because nobody knows the day or the hour. Not the angels in heaven, not the Son. Only the Father knows. Okay? But be wise. He said there would be signs in the sun and the stars and the moon. Obviously, we've seen plenty of signs. So let's not want to be one of those people like, hey, the boss is coming back. Hurry up. Get back to work. Don't fool yourself. He knows all your intentions. He knows exactly what you're doing. That's why he said, I want to find you girded, your loins girded in my service. So he is the prize in this marathon called life that we are running to. Is he your prize? Because he's not going to come here, brothers and sisters. He made that very clear. He is not coming back to this earth. We are to meet him in the sky, correct? So you must be running to him, brothers and sisters. You must be running to him. He is the prize. You understand? So he's not coming to, right? He said he will meet us. You see why he wants to find our loins girded, working and running towards him? Running towards him. Correct? I said this is a marathon. I didn't say this is some kind of easy walk. I said it's a marathon, and you have to run, and you have to be headed in his direction when he comes, brothers and sisters, and then he'll meet us. Okay, so make him your prize. I know the life is tough. I know that this worldly things get us caught up. But if you find that if you make him your prize every single day and you trim self off, he will grow in you and he will lead you and he will make you run towards him. Oh, yes, he will. No matter what you do, you'll be running towards him. So please be wise, because if I know my luck, Murphy's Law will slam that bam, just like a Noah moment. Okay? So I know, I've looked at the scripture and I know what it says. Okay? Maranatha, brothers and sisters. Maranatha, until Christ Jesus returns. Always. Daily cross, always agape. Okay? There's a link in the description. If anyone wants to drop any support for my work, I appreciate it. I think I got 2 or 3 cash apps. I appreciate it, brothers and sisters. You're helping me tremendously. If I get through this month, man, I am going to run like crazy. I've got to get, man, I feel like not in a rush, but like spring is in the air. It's late here. It's going to be a late spring, but I'm going to be ready. I mean, I am fired up for this spring, guys. I am so, man, I'm excited to get his, to do his work, to finish what it is that I've done out here. So please trim your lamps and tighten up the loose boards in your ship. Please tighten them up. Remember, it tells us that we need to trim and purify ourselves in the book of John, right? Purify ourselves, right? That's what we need to be doing right now, brothers and sisters. So cast off the works of darkness and put on that whole armor of God. All right. Hallelujah. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Again, great conversation. Thanks for not having, your head in somewhere else and actually having your finger on the pulse. It's good to talk with people who see what's going on, and you make me feel like I'm not so alone in this world. Thank you, brothers and sisters. I love you tremendously. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you back here again on the next Predestined for Light. Who knows what we'll be talking about? We know what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about the sun and the sun. All right. Always agape.